Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's me, ChipZ, and we're continuing with our One Piece manga catch-up binge that we've been on for the last couple weeks. I didn't get to do one last weekend. I was a little busy. Had a pretty packed schedule, but we're back, and we are better than ever, man. So, I'm really excited to continue trying to catch up to One Piece. I want to at least get through 3 chapters tonight. And I think we're making pretty good progress. We're only 5 chapters behind now. But, if we're on a roll and we're having a good time, I could see us going all the way to catching up. So we are 6 chapters away from the current story. And honestly, I'm really loving everything that's been happening recently, for the most part. Obviously I have my nitpicks here and there, but generally speaking, I'm really enjoying Kuma's backstory and Bonnie's backstory, and getting to see a little bit about God Valley and the Revolutionary Army and their formation. And it's been really interesting kind of seeing all of these things that we've been waiting for information on for so long through the story of Bartholomew Kuma, who, for anyone who is unfamiliar, is one of my favorite characters in the manga, one of the characters I've been most interested in getting some more information on. So it's been really exciting to kind of finally get this long-awaited character's backstory, and learning more about him. And we've always sort of known that he's kind of a kind soul who's just doing these seemingly nefarious things, but has always had good intentions, and has always kind of been aligned with our characters, even if he serves the world government. It's interesting to see, to finally get all this information, and at the end of chapter 1099, we kind of finally got to see Kuma, who was searching for. One thing I loved about the last few chapters is seeing Kuma's journey, because we're basically seeing the guy's whole life, really. Seeing his struggles as a buccaneer, but also how that made him super tough, and his tenacity and the way that he is trying his best to continue his girlfriend Ginny's legacy by caring for Bonnie and giving her the best life he can find. Bonnie, his sort of adopted daughter, but still very much a father-daughter relationship there. And it's really been a beautiful story so far. I'm really enjoying where it's going, and I'm curious if in the next few chapters we'll get back to the present timeline, if we're close to the end of the flashback, or if we're going to be in the flashback until 1105, which I think is the current chapter in the manga. So definitely interested to see when we'll flash back to the present, but I'm also I'm in no hurry to get back there yet. I'm really enjoying what we're getting here. It seems like we're kind of coming to a head with the Kuma Bonnie flashback. Now that they've met up with Vegapunk, they're about to develop the Pacifista, which originally were these idea for these kind of protective agents, as opposed to these agents of destruction that they become, these weapons that they become at the hands of the world government. It seems like the initial idea, and this seems to be a running theme with Vegapunk, a lot of his initial ideas are to further peace and prosperity, but for whatever reason, the science warrior god, Minister of Defense, J. Garcia Saturn, seems to always kind of take Vegapunk's. I think we're kind of learning that this guy is sort of the nefarious force behind the science stuff, and he takes all of Vegapunk's ideas and weaponizes them for the forces of evil, so mustache twirling villain over here. But who knows, man? Who knows? Is Vegapunk somewhat culpable for this stuff, like Frankie was when he built his fucking battle Frankies that blew up Water 7 and inadvertently killed Tom? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. So yeah, without further ado, I say we get into the chapter. I don't want to mince words too much. I want to actually get down to the meat of this shit. So let's do it. Let's fucking go. All right. So we got chapters 1100 or 1100. Thank you, Bonnie. This must be from Kuma. And I've actually just reminded that Bonnie actually knows Kuma's story because she saw his memories in the memory bubble thingy. So I wonder if we're seeing this backstory kind of through Bonnie's perspective, but either way, it's very interesting. All right, let's get into it here. This is a cute cover spread. We got Sanji, who's oh, you know what? I just realized this. Okay, so we got Usopp, the Usopp Pirates. You guys remember them from literally Syrup Village? So we got the Usopp Pirate Crew. We got Usopp, and he's thinking about his boys. Oh, you know what? I get it now. Okay, so what's happening here is Sanji has an onion, he's got carrots, and he's got a bell pepper. And these are the foods that his Usopp Pirate Crew was named after. So obviously, as Sanji is preparing a meal here, Usopp is distracting him by picking up the plants, picking up Sanji's eggplant, and thinking back to his bros from back home. So it's very cute. We also see a rabbit here eating one of these carrots, and Sanji is fucking pissed, man. He's like, get your hands off of my food. You're not a woman. I'm gonna beat you up because I don't let men touch my eggplant. You motherfuckers. So anyway, this is a cute cover page. I actually like this a lot. It's good to have like a a moment, even if it's like on a cover page and not actually canon, of like Usopp thinking back to his boys. That's cute. We don't get to see that too often. Characters thinking about where they came from, in like a big way. So this is cute. I like this. Cover request by Noda Skywalker, a regular contributor to Oda's cover page ideas. Sanji cooking vegetables, making Usopp nostalgic about the Usopp Pirates. That's adorable. I love it. Alright, so, into the chapter proper. We got Kizaru. He is looking like a spy. He's looking like a super sleuth. He's looking pretty cool. This is Kizaru, what, like 10 years ago? Maybe not quite 10 years ago. Maybe more like 8 years ago. I'm not entirely sure how long ago this was, but we got Borsellino, the most Italian character in all of One Piece, looking like an actual mafia boss here with a hat. It's a good look for him. I'm afraid I'm here on business. Man, it's cold. This place sure is a far cry from Punk Hazard. Okay, so this is Egghead before it was Egghead, if I'm not mistaken, this island. It's snowy, and you know what? I like that it's a snow island, because that actually lines up a lot with what, the backstory of our boy Vegapunk. He comes from a snowy island. He now lives on a snowy island, but he's going to turn it into a tropical paradise where everyone's wearing Hawaiian shirts before too long. So of course he does. Of course he will, because he is the GOAT. Okay. Man, it's cold. This place sure is a far cry from Punk Hazard. So at this point in time, Punk Hazard maybe has a nicer climate than this place. So who knows? I think Punk Hazard was at one point the lab of Dr. Vegapunk, but I'm not sure. Just you wait, the future will be born right here. Or just you wait, the future will be born right here. No, he doesn't have an accent. Okay. I was going to try to do the accent from Ivankov, but it's not the same. I mean, I guess I could stick my tongue out to do his voice. But nah, that would be fucking annoying. Not going to do it. Too much trouble for me, too much annoyance for you guys, I bet. So we'll keep it straight with Vegapunk. He's also a very verbose character, so I don't really want to do that fucking stupid tongue voice the whole time, I could do that. I could have done that with Perospero as well, stick my tongue out to do his voice too, but yeah, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Just you wait. The future will be born right here. My head is overflowing with ideas. It's honestly hard to think straight. Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, he's got a fucking brain tumor the size of Wisconsin. Yeah, like, goddamn, bro. That explains how you missed it. Excuse me. Oh yeah, this is the future location of Egghead, that's what I was saying. That explains how you missed it. You really should have checked every nook and cranny of the lab when you moved in. Navy Admiral Kizaru Borsellino. Okay, so he was even an admiral back then, which I guess this was like 10 years ago, I think. And these guys are friends, sort of. Like, we know that they are like buddies. But, Kizaru is, a consummate professional. He does his job swiftly and with efficiency for the most part. He will do what he's told, even if it goes against what he wants to do, because he's a real soldier, I do have some begrudging respect for Kizaru, like he is, like true to his job, like he does what is demanded of him, even like, because he is a Navy Marine, even if it's like against what he wants, like he does not show favoritism for the most part, at least based on what we've seen so far. So, I think that's pretty cool. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna adjust the lighting in my my little room here real quick. I've just noticed that my lights are a bit bright. I had them on, so when I do gaming streams or record a episode of a playthrough, usually my, what would you call it? My lights are turned up a bit brighter just because I like to have, you know, it's because I have a green screen in the back, right? So like when I'm recording, you know, gaming footage, you know, the lights need to be a bit higher. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm gonna have to, I won't worry about it too much. I think we're all right, but yeah, whatever. We'll worry about it later. Maybe on my break from this stream, I will worry about it more. But yeah, I think we're fine for now. Okay, so you really should have checked. That explains how you missed it. You really should have checked every nook and cranny of the lab when you moved in. ... And he's like exhaling. He's like, not this fucking idiot giving me a fucking lecture. The government frowns on secret backroom deals with pirates, you know. Okay, you got me, Borsellino. So he's like, all right. And there's a camera footage, you know, taking footage of everything. I hate it when you get like this. Come on, I'm just doing my job. Ooh, is this X-Drake? I think this is X-Drake. He's got the X-shaped scar on his... Oh, and yeah, it does look like X-Drake, actually. Like before he started wearing the mask, you know? No one cared who I was until I put on the mask, as they say. Anyway, so he's scolding him because it seems they found out about him working with Bartholomew Kuma. It's irrelevant if you consider him an ideal candidate, Vegapunk. This man is a pirate with 296 million on his head. So almost 300 million. You can say you were ignorant of that, or simply admit you don't care. But making a... So it looks like he's... Okay, so he's on the phone with J. Garcia Saturn. Interesting, okay. You can say you were ignorant of that, or simply admit you don't care. But making a fugitive the face of our clone program is out of the question. It would be an affront to the Navy's reputation. And this guy, J. Garcia Saturn, has added out for Kuma since Kuma was a fucking child. Let's just be honest, okay? I suspect, based on what we know now about how fervently Bonnie was attacking J. Garcia Saturn, I suspect that what we're actually about to learn is that, because all we know is that Vegapunk thought that turning Kuma, like cloning Kuma to make Pacifista, would allow for him to protect more people. But, and you know, that would also supplement the cost of the medical treatment that he would need for Bonnie, right? So, in a general sense, I think what's going on here is that what we're going to learn, if I had to guess, like my guess for this chapter, or what we're about to learn here, is that it was actually St. J. Garcia Saturn who was the one who decided that, like, okay, look, you know, if you insist on using Bartholomew Kuma as the face of this organization, we can't allow him to operate freely. We need to make a deal where we need to turn him into a robot in which we can, like, turn off his actions, like make him like a Manchurian candidate where we can, like, control him. Because right now we can't control him. He's like a revolutionary, a former revolutionary. He's like, you know, a dissident. He's fought against the world government, like, directly. We need to... It is kind of crazy that this guy being, like, a member, like one of the founding members of the Revolutionary Army, or at very least, like, a very popular member of the army, is like, and like also a pirate, and also like a king who overthrew another kingdom, you know, only has 300 million buried, knowing how much we know about, like, bounties now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, I think this is some, like, I'll say this, Oda giving guys like Crocodile, like, an 80 million, berry bounty, or, like, this guy a 300 million berry bounty, like, that's some bullshit. That's, like, it just shows, like, the bounty creep of One Piece and how, like, Oda really hadn't thought that far ahead or didn't expect bounties to go as high as we have them now. And, like, that's fine. Like, obviously, like, the real bounty inflation happened when we met like Jack the Drought, and then like Oda was like, okay, well now to like shock people with how high bounties are, we need to make like, I don't know, we need to make like Yonko's bounties like 400 or 500 million, like 300 million, you know, or like 300 billion, you know, like billion berry bounties. Like now, like that's really like when things started to go off the rails. When we started getting like billion berry bounties, like it was just such a big leap because Oda wanted to shock us with the numbers alone and make us think like, how strong are these people if they have like crazy high bounties like that? But like, look, Kuma as he is in right here is more dangerous than Jack the Drought ever was. Let's just be fucking real, okay? Let's just be 100% honest. And we know he gets stronger when he becomes like a robot or a, you know, pacifista or a, you know, cyborg. But like, let's be honest, like this Kuma could fucking destroy Jack the Drought. I don't care if we maybe didn't see all that Jack the Drought can do. I would put my whole fucking life savings on this Kuma absolutely bodying that boy, and he's only got 300 million. Now we know that Kuma is an IRL good boy, but we also know that he's, you know, gone up against the world government directly as a both a pirate and revolutionary many times, you know. And plus he's like from a race that they want to annihilate, like the Buccaneer guys. Like this guy, it's the same thing with like Robin only having like a 79 million berry bounty for like so long. Like it's like, dude, she should have had like a crazy bounty, like an absolutely like bonkers bounty from the start, like straight up. You know, like it's, I assume, I think like One Piece is kind of like Oda tried to lampshade this, like, you know, with like a little bit of like, oh, like the Marines didn't want to set it too high to like, you know, make it seem like, oh, they're trying to like, you know, genocide a population or whatever, like they were trying to maybe do some PR. But it just doesn't make fucking sense, man. They could have spun some PR narratives to like justify, you know, Robin as a kid having a bounty or Kuma having a bigger bounty if they really wanted him dead. It's some bullshit. It's just Oda, you know, like look, at the end of the day, Oda set these bounties when bounties were like much smaller on average, right? So like at the time, like Dragon being the most wanted man in the world, he might have thought Dragon himself like would have had like a 1 billion berry bounty. But it's the same thing with like the revolutionaries, like Sabo being like, you know, the right-hand man of the revolutionaries, but only having like 500, you know, million at one point or something, you know, like during Dressrosa. So it's a little bit silly. You kind of have to suspend your disbelief and give Oda some grace, because he's been writing this story for like 25, gonna be 30 years at some point by the time it ends. And, you know, he obviously couldn't predict how things would go, and like, you know, I'm not saying he didn't plan a lot out in advance, but there are certain things that he just couldn't have accounted for, couldn't have guessed about, and now he just kind of has to, you know, be consistent, or do his best to be consistent, but also explain things that make sense within the world. And it doesn't really bother me all that much. It's just interesting to note. Like it's kind of crazy that like a dude that has J. Garcia Saturn's fucking panties in a twist, like Bartholomew Kuma, the slave child of like a race they wanted to genocide, who helped other slaves escape from God's Valley and stole like a prized devil fruit and has become like a revolutionary commander, and like this dude should be like, this guy should have like a crazy bounty. Like I'm just saying, like even before he became a fucking Shichibukai or pacifista or anything, you know? But whatever, rant over. You guys know what I'm talking about. Oda's a hack, that's what we're trying to say here. You know, so yeah, it's fine. It's not that big a deal, but whatever. Back to the chapter. You can say we're ignorant of that or simply admit you don't care. Okay, so Jay's Garcia Saturn is fucking scolding big brain tumor boy over here. But making a fugitive the face of our clone program is out of the question. It would be an affront to the Navy's reputation. With that in mind, we have 3 additional stipulations if you want us to honor this deal of yours. Firstly, Bartholomew Kuma, you must agree to become one of the 7 warlords of the sea. Okay. So J. Garcia Saturn's always had like a big hate boner for Kuma. He tried to beat him up when he was a child, you know. It was just interesting because Jay is, I guess, like immortal. He looks the same as he did when he was, like, when Kuma was a child, and Kuma's now, like, a grown-ass man. So you must agree to become one of the 7 warlords of the sea. A few days ago, we found ourselves a member short thanks to the exploits of a rookie named Ace. Oh shit, so Ace took out a warlord of the sea. That is interesting. I want to know more about that. Because you know what's... Okay, so I'm going to go on a fucking rant. I know I just went on a rant. This is like an actual rant that I actually have a problem with, right? Okay, so let's talk about the worst generation, right? Like, so one thing that I love about One Piece, but also like am annoyed with about One Piece, is that, and Oda's been better about this post-time skip than he was pre-time skip, right? Because pre-time skip was centrally focused on the Straw Hats and their journey, right? So one thing I love, like as an aspiring writer myself, as someone who works on stories, like I don't have anything published right now, but I am actively working on stuff. One thing I try to do whenever I'm like crafting a narrative, and I think this is like just good practice in general if you are like a fiction writer or someone who's writing, you know, either fantasy, sci-fi, whatever you're writing, like you have to, and Oda's genuinely and generally really good about this. He's just, I feel like he's made some missteps along the way, and I don't mean to criticize him too hard, because obviously I don't have anything published, you know, I'm not like, not really anyway, like I'm not like, you know, a successful writer, so like take this all with a grain of salt. You don't have to agree with me on this, but like what I'm trying to say, I guess, is that I think like most good stories, or how do I put it? Like most good series where there's multiple factions, right? Or most good like stories where there's multiple factions at play vying for some sort of power, will attribute success to different factions, right? You don't want just one faction to be the only ones that are making any headway in the narrative. You know, if you want to have like a well and balanced story where you know, a competitive nature is acknowledged, right? So like let's talk about pre-time skip One Piece for a second. Just for, you know, I'm going to try to keep this as concise as possible because we have a lot to get through, right? So pre-time skip One Piece, we just followed Luffy and the crew, and it was kind of like a, you know, just like an adventure story. And of course we were just going to follow the exploits of these characters that we, you know, have, you know, that like it really was like Luffy and the crew's story. It's this crew of this band of, you know, brothers and sisters, kind of this Nakama band coming together and like, you know, pursuing their dreams together. So we didn't need to focus on the other things in the world that much. We only sort of did that occasionally in between arcs. We'd catch up with guys like Buggy sometimes, or Ace occasionally, see what they were up to. And like as the story's gone on, and as the world has gotten bigger, and as Oda has been more interested in exploring the world, like the world, you know, geopolitical, as like a geopolitical like kind of mechanism, it's become more and more like he's focusing more on like the different factions, like world politics, like the different forces at play, the different forces vying for power, the interests of these different forces at play. Like, you know, it really wasn't until like honestly, it really wasn't until Ace that we started to learn like, okay, there's a guy named Whitebeard who's like the strongest man in the world and like has his own like ultra strong pirate crew, and Ace is like a member of his crew, even though Ace could like destroy the entire Straw Hat crew, you know, when they met him in Alabasta. He was like stronger than the entire crew. He could have taken them out by himself, but he's a subordinate of a guy who's even stronger. So like that's the first time we're like, oh shit, there are like some big heavy hitting players out there. That's crazy. We also like found out at one point there was like Blackbeard, like in I think Drum Island. We find out, okay, these Blackbeard pirates came and they like kicked out the king and like basically ransacked the country, and the country's still reeling from this like absolute like juggernaut like that we just hear in like whispers and see the shadows of, who's come to, you know, claim stuff for himself, right? So like we start to like only sort of like kind of midway through, like kind of like only really at the Alabasta arc, or like sort of like the Drum Island like Alabasta saga, do we really start to kind of get an understanding of like, okay, like there are like larger forces at play that might like, you know, that aren't like the main conflicts in that arc that we're in, but are starting to be built up. And I think Oda, generally speaking, has been really effective at like kind of crafting this larger world where there are these different forces at play. Obviously, you know, Luffy and the crew kind of have a lot of advantages because they're like, you know, they're the main characters. They're, you know, super inspiring. They're super easy to fall in love with, you know, and they're great, like, you know, they're super charismatic, they're super fun. Of course, they'd be able to befriend people and form allies very easily. But it is interesting that, like, you know, like Oda's given them like kind of supernatural levels of like charisma and stuff, and like, you know, which is fine, whatever. Like, you know, that's how you tell a story. Like, you have to make the main character special in some way in order to give them the opportunity to succeed. And like, in a world where, like, you know, there are larger, more powerful, more sinister forces at play, right? What I find interesting, though, is that, like, and there's, okay, so getting to my gripe, right? Like, I have a complaint, and my complaint is, and I'm trying to remember what this has to do with this, right? Okay, so, right, so the last thing I read was Ace defeated one of the previous 7 Warlords of the Sea, and that's why I think they maybe offered Ace, we know that they offered Ace a position as a Warlord of the Sea, so maybe that's what they're talking about. So, okay, so what we know is, like, you know, Ace probably defeated a former Warlord, maybe was offered the position of Warlord. We know that he was offered the position of Warlord at some point, but turned it down, which is pretty based, by the way. But what I'm trying to get at is that I remember when we got to Sabaody and started, like, kind of, you know, and like it wasn't really until like the post Water 7 sort of arc or whatever, like the mini, like the section at, or like the post CP9 saga stuff, where like we started to get like more deep into, like, okay, there's Vegapunk, there's the Revolutionary Army, there's like the Yonko, like there's all kinds of crazy shit going on. Like the New World is ruled over by like you know, Yonko, like emperors, as opposed to the Marines, like, you know, stuff like that's pretty crazy, right? Like, so that's when we started to like kind of get like a full scale like overview of like the larger geopolitical conflicts in One Piece. And it's been really interesting as like someone who's interested in writing. It was so interesting to like observe the way that Oda sort of built these forces up. However, I do think, like, and part of this I think is Oda maybe didn't have all this stuff planned out from the start, and that's fine. Like, it's fine to kind of evolve a story naturally as you kind of, you know, continue to write it. And like with the schedule of, you know, Shonen Jump and how often the release of One Piece is, it makes sense that Oda would like kind of come up with new ideas and new ways to like make the story more interesting as it went on. So like, I'm not even using this as a way to like say like Oda should have had everything planned from the jump. He was like 18 when he started writing One Piece. Like, let's give the man a break. That being said, one thing that I always found was a misstep for Oda, and he's been better about this post-time skip, but for me, one thing that I've always felt was kind of, I don't know, like, I don't want to say lame, but like kind of lame to me, I guess, is that when we get to, Sabaody, right, and we hear about, like, oh, there's like 12, there's like the worst generation, like these supernova from all over the world who've like come to the Grand Line and are all vying for power and like trying to become like their pirate king or like achieve some like greater goal, and like they're like Luffy's rivals. They're all like these crazy pirates, whatever. Like, the worst generation, in my opinion, was one of the coolest things that was ever like introduced into the story of One Piece. And it's had some like really interesting impacts on the story in some ways, but I think Oda's kind of dropped the ball with the worst generation in other ways, which, you know, I've talked about ad nauseum. I think he really did Drake and Apu in Injustice in the Wano arc. I think he did a great job with, like, for the most part, like Law. Like, you know, people have their, you know, problems with Law. Personally, like I would say my only issue with Law is that I think he maybe got too much focus as opposed to too little. I will say, like, I if they're gonna give someone like him as much focus as he gets, I think it would be only fair to give the other characters, the other worst generation characters, as much focus, or like maybe his time could have been cut back and they could have focused on some other characters a bit more. But that being said, like Law, you know, the focus on Law was interesting. The focus on Kid and Wano and leading up to Wano was interesting. Hawkins was a great character in his own right and kind of like an interesting exploration of like the idea of fate. And Bonnie, the stuff we're getting with Bonnie now, and Capone was great too, by the way. Like, I loved Capone and Whole Cake Island. Like, I think those are the ones that Oda's so far, and I think we're even going to get more stuff with Bonnie, like, here pretty soon. Like, the Bonnie stuff so far has been excellent. But then he totally dropped the ball with Drake, and he totally dropped the ball with Apu. So if those guys don't come back, I think Oda really fucked up, you know? Like, I'm not saying all the worst generation have to be of the same, how would I put it? Like, of the same level of importance as one another, but like, he had an opportunity to give both of those guys great moments in Wano, and like actual like interesting character development and like, you know, like unique personalities and stuff, and he just fucking dropped the ball. So I'm like mostly pissed about the way he handled Drake. Apu, like I like aspects of Apu, but I think, dude, he had the opportunity to give them like these two like basically diametrically opposed, like complete opposite characters, a chance to team up and show their personality and their convictions and like, you know, who they are in a battle against CP0, which would have been perfect for both of those guys. Like, and he just completely skipped over that conflict, like completely, you know, in favor of using the CP0 guys to incite the Nika stuff with Kaido and Luffy. And like, whatever, it seems like that was more important to him. I think that was a huge mistake, but that's just my opinion, right? You might think it's worthwhile. I personally am like extremely upset that he went that route, but whatever. Like if there's anything about Wano I could have changed, it would have been like, goddamn, give this like conflict between like literally Drake, who is like a good government guy, versus CP0, like a, you know, bad government guys. Like, give this some fucking time. Give the, you know, and like I've talked about this before. I don't want to belabor the point. That being said, going back to what I was talking about in Saba Odi, right? Like, at that point in time, we find out, like, oh man, there are these other, you know, worst generation guys, and they're like rivals to Luffy. But then we also learn that none of them have defeated, like we know that Kid had a higher bounty than Luffy back then because he caused more collateral damage, because he was more like, he was like a hair trigger temper. He was more easy to set off, because if you make fun of his boys, he'll beat you up, or if you make fun of Luffy, he probably won't beat you up. Unless you like actually hurt his friends, and then he'll beat you up, you know? So like with, and like that's something that always kind of bothered me, is that like none of these, like Luffy, like despite having, like he's obviously the main character, so it makes sense that he would have more like big moments under his belt than someone like Kid. It was disappointing to learn that like, oh, like Kid never beat anyone of note, or like accomplished any, like he was just like caused more damage, and that's why he was more considered more dangerous. But like none of the other supernovas seemed to have like the same level of like feats and like big like events associated with them, unlike the Straw Hats. Like Law has the Rocky Port incident, which is, you know, has become a more interesting thing in the lore that we don't fully know about, but we've learned more about. So like he has that associated with him, but like what does Kid have associated with him besides like a raid on like Whole Cake, which is interesting, but he didn't even like get credit for beating Snack or whoever he beat, right? Like we know he beat some commander and stole a rubbing of the poneglyph, but like besides that, like we don't know which commander it was. It was probably Snack. And like Uroge is the only one, like, and that's the thing is post timeskip Oda's been better about giving the worst generation like actual feats. Like I love the fact that he gave Kid and Law a defeat over Big Mom, because if like Luffy was the only one who ever beat anyone, it would make the world feel small, and like, and it would make like Luffy just feel like the chosen one, and it's like I don't want that, you know. I know he kind of is the chosen one, sort of, but it's like by happenstance. It's like he just happened to like impress important people in the setting who wanted to give him powers that, you know, and like training and stuff. Like, you know, he's a good-hearted person. But I like that Law and Kid in their own way were tenacious enough, and like I just like it is a good thing in my opinion that Luffy isn't the only person to take down like super strong people in the world of One Piece, or like accomplish like big things or cause major events in the world of One Piece. Like it's a world. It shouldn't just be the main characters doing the important things. And like Oda has been better about that since I would say like around the time of the time skip, right? Like he gave obviously like Whitebeard and those guys like a huge thing at Marineford. Like that clearly wasn't a Straw Hat thing. Luffy was there, but he was just a footnote, right? Like that was a good job of making the world feel like large and like important, and like the world is moving, but you know, but without like the presence of the characters, like the main characters, the main cast. Like the world is still like, you know, a moving, living thing. Like I like that. And when I try to, you know, and when I'm working on stories that I'm working on, like I try to include that as well. Like I don't want it to just be the main character or like the main party or whatever it is be the only ones doing things in the setting, because that's like kind of silly, and like that's not how the real world works, you know. And like I'm not saying stories have to work just like the real world. I'm just saying that it's more interesting for a story to kind of account for the other forces in the world that are at play. To me, that's just more interesting. You know, if you feel differently, that's fine too, man. But that's just how I feel. And like to circle it back to the current chapter at hand, because I know I went on a huge long rant that was way longer than it needed to be. I love this note right here, that there is an opening in the Shichibukai because Ace apparently took out a member of the Shichibukai and refused to fill that place himself. So that's really cool. I'm glad Oda's given someone else a defeat of a Shichibukai besides fucking Luffy. Like, how is Kid or Law or like Drake or, you know, like Apu not defeated a Shichibukai? Like, you know, the fact that the only Shichibukai we met pre-time skip were all associated with Luffy and Luffy met them and like they were just Luffy guys basically, I thought was so dumb. Like, how is no other character on the Grand Line no other up and coming rookie taking on a Shichibukai? Like, it's like, of course Luffy is the only important one that gets the only like real big stuff. It's like that to me, like, thank God Oda's starting to give credit to other characters and starting to give like actual feats and like make other characters feel more legitimate, like Kid and Law and Ace and Kuma and whoever, you know, like, and Sabo, and, you know, like, thank God that we're getting, and like Blackbeard, of course, right? Like, thank God we're actually seeing like other characters in the setting making moves and doing big things. Like, this is what you should want in a story like One Piece, in my opinion. That's what I want, at least. So anyway, fuck, that was a long rant. I apologize. But it needed to be said. It needed to be said. A few days ago, we found ourselves a member short thanks to the exploits of a rookie named Ace. It caused great turbulence in the pirate world. Someone of your caliber would be a natural choice to fill that opening and calm the seas. Okay, so that's the first condition for this for this deal between Kuma and what's it called? But not Bon Clay. God damn it. Vegapunk, yes. Okay. Our second condition is for you to undergo procedures to become a human weapon for the Navy. Are you talking about modifying my body? Body modification? Base? No, joking. Precisely. You already have all the traits required to be an effective warlord, so you'll become a paragon of fear for pirate scum far and wide after you receive your enhancements. And Vegapunk is obviously like, I don't know about that, bro, but he's going to do it anyway. I second that. The Navy would love to have you on our side. Can it, Kizaru? So, you know, this guy's, you know, Vegapunk's pissed, but whatever. We know it's still going to happen. You see my point, but that's not all. You aren't like other pirates, Kuma. We are well aware of your history with the Revolutionary Army. If you accept our offer, we must take precautions to ensure you never turn your power against the world government again. Even though that's what he's doing right now, because he had Vegapunk pre-programmed some desire to protect into him. Or maybe a part of his soul still exists within his robot body, and now he is, you know, just acting on that. That's the last vestige of his will, or whatever. Which brings us to our third and final condition, and this is what Bonnie is mad at him about, obviously. You must agree to give up your free will and sense of individuality. Damn! And he gave it all up for Bonnie, just to have her ailments healed, so she could be a pirate or do whatever she wanted, and it's fucked up, and Saturn is fucked up. Yeah, I mean, this is what I expected. I didn't expect them to come out and say it like right here, but like so quickly, but it makes all the sense in the world, you know? And obviously Vegapunk is pissed. Oh, okay, so I'm glad to see this. I'm glad Vegapunk objected so fervently to this. He said, Saint Saturn, that would be a tantamount to killing him. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, Vegapunk. The true bro, the true science bro, not gonna let his boy be turned into a fucking human weapon. This is because none of the other warlords follow orders, isn't it? If you snuff out... So that also is interesting, because Kuma was one that was known to follow orders. Unlike Moria and the other warlords. So if you snuff out all the humanity left in a cyborg, they'll have nothing but a robot. Do you really expect me to murder a man? You forget yourself. You're a military scientist. You have no right to talk back. These conditions must be met if this criminal wishes to save his daughter. Okay. So it was Jay Garcia Saturn's idea to turn Kuma into a mindless killing machine. You know, wow. You know, there it is. And that's why Bonnie hates this man so much. It's a small price to pay considering how expensive and difficult this procedure would be otherwise. I have no obligation to help this girl. Damn. This is murder. It'd be perverse to modify a human like that. I won't. Vegapunk, please do it. So Kuma is, you know, clearly, you know, overcome with emotion here. And he is making the decision for Vegapunk. Kuma? I've been worrying all this time, thinking it might be impossible to save Bonnie. So now he knows it's possible. He will pay whatever price in order to save his daughter. And that's the kind of man Kuma is. And that is, that's pretty noble. I gotta give my man props. It's a noble sacrifice, for sure. For sure. And Vegapunk is blown away. I'm so grateful. I'll happily accept any fate so long as Bonnie is cured. Wow. And there he is, smiling and crying, and oh man, it's rough, dude. It's just rough. Kuma and Kizaru obviously tipping his fedora to Kuma, and Jay Garcia looking his snails looking very apathetic, and Sentomaru and Bonnie none the wiser that this will be maybe the last time she sees her dad, like, as a person. And it's just really sad, man. Vegapunk, how long will it take you to finish Kuma's modifications and cure his daughter? Dealing with the sapphire scales will take 6 months, but it'll take an extra year on top of that before she can be exposed to natural light. That's a total of about a year and a half before she's cured. So it seems like maybe Bonnie might have ended up growing up on Egghead, which is really interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. That's a total of about a year and a half before she's cured. Kuma's modifications will take 2 years at minimum. Thank goodness she really will be all better by the time she's 10. That's, wow. So he made a promise. Obviously, he felt backed into a corner when he made that promise because he wanted to tell her that she wouldn't be dead by 10. It ended up being like, oh, you'll be cured by 10, you know. But it seems that he was able to keep his promise by literally selling his soul. That's tragic, but also very noble. But Jesus Christ, this man's neck is fucking swole, bruh. God damn. How can we trust you to remain obedient after she's cured? Your daughter is our only leverage here. I have no intention of running. Be that as it may, the world government will have to take custody of her once her treatment is complete. She'll be free after you follow through with the erasure of your personality. Wow. But that would mean Kuma won't get to see Bonnie after she's cured. Correct. His modifications will commence immediately. It'll be an ongoing process. Damn. Jay Garcia Saturn looks like a wizard with his cool, like, wizard stick. But this guy sucks. What a fucking jerk. His modifications will commence immediately. It'll be an ongoing process. So I wonder if this took place two years before the start of the story, before like the start of I guess before 2 years before the Paramount War, because that's the first time we saw him as like a mindless robot, right? So that would make sense to me. So I guess that's technically like like 3 years before the main story? I don't know. Or maybe 4 years before the main story? I'm not sure. Or maybe 5 years, I don't know. Correct, his modifications will commence immediately. It will be an ongoing process as he starts his tenure as a warlord and helps the government tame the seas. After his daughter is cured, any contact between them will be forbidden to ensure they don't escape. If there is any hint of defiance from any of you, I guarantee she will spend the rest of her life as a slave. Wow. So he's like, nah, fuck that. Fuck that. So this is why he doesn't see her again. And why Bonnie goes on this quest to find him and to find out what the fuck happened to him, you know? Like, this is really sad. This is really fucked up. So he's obviously shook. I won't try to see her, I swear. I only have one request. Don't tell Bonnie the truth. She can't know about her illness or that she's being kept as a hostage. I don't want her to wake up after her surgery in some soulless government facility. Take her back to Sorbet. You can keep her in the church where she grew up. If you can grant that one request, then I promise you I won't seek her out and I'll obey without question. Wow. So they want her to do her recovery, or her surgery and recovery. I don't want her to wake up after her surgery in some soulless government facility. Wow, man. Kuma is dad of the year. Easily dad of the year. It is sad that he had to give up a life with his daughter for this, but honestly, I think he's doing the right thing. Like, the only thing he can do to give her a life, any life, you know? Take her back to Sorbet. You can keep her in the church where she grew up. If you can grant that one request, then I promise you I won't seek her out and I'll obey without question. Very well. So J. Garcia Saturn, Cherry Garcia Saturn, agrees. It makes no difference where she's kept as long as the government oversees it. Looks like we have an interesting 2 years ahead of us. Bonnie, we'll be staying here for the next 6 months. Really? So you're staying with me? That's right. They think I may have come down with something too, so they need to run some tests. Snap, that means we get to be together. Yay! Oh, this weirdo is sent tomorrow. That's rude. Yeah, he is kind of a fucking weirdo, isn't he? Is he a Buccaneer? He looks like kind of like an absolute unit like Kuma, so maybe he's a Buccaneer too. Wow, this place has so many windowless rooms. Yes, but be careful. There are all sorts of dangerous gadgets around here. That's it. I can create the weapon of my dreams now. Damn it, the brain waves won't stop. So he's writing all of his ideas down. His brain waves are fucking on fire. This man is nuts. Someone needs to write everything I'm thinking down. If only they could eat and use the... Oh, so now he's thinking about creating 6 of himself. If only they could eat and use the toilet for me too. I'd never have to stop. That's so funny. I'm so short-handed. It's maddening. I just had another eureka moment. This is going to keep me as busy as a beaver. This is the same cat-related idiom from chapter 1062. I don't remember what that is. I'm not going to look it up. Who cares? I wish there were 5 more of me. So this is the origin of that idea of having so many of himself that he can have all the different aspects of himself doing different things, so that way everyone is maximally productive. All right, so Kuma is starting to be modified. Get some cyberpunk stuff over here. Or rather Atom Punk, I suppose, based on what this place becomes. My dude can't even fit into this MRI machine. Look at this thing. That's hilarious. And then Bonnie's surgery is underway with actual other doctors. That's interesting. So he looks over and sees her playing with Sentomaru. Oh, this is cute. So she actually grew up around Sentomaru, and she drew a picture of it. Aw, this is so cute. And they're, hanging out in Egghead together. This is so adorable, man. God, Kuma's such a good boy. And Bonnie's so good too, man. Humid cargo ships. There's a cargo ship coming, and they're building Egghead Island over here. Look at that. It's under construction. This is beautiful, man. We haven't had like a kind of like the origins of an island arc like this since really I feel like I don't know, like maybe Water 7? Like when we got to see like Tom and his guys like building the sea train and growing up together and stuff. But this is cool because it's with characters we already know and love. And all the workers get along with them. This is really cute. Kuma's eating pizza with them. Aww, and he's bringing beer. Oh, is this character an early prototype of Daft Punk, maybe? I don't know. Oh, and even Kizaru's hanging out and eating pizza. That's cute. Man, this is just cute. Like, this is really sweet. Them, like, eating pizza together. Like, big slices of pizza. Man, Kizaru was part of the gang, dude. Oh, this humanizes him, too. Man... And he's already like a warlord undergoing like different crazy modifications, and she's starting to feel better. Excuse me. This is beautiful, man. And Sentomaru being part of the crew too. Man, this is adorable. And even Big Head here eating pizza with them too is so good. And they're doing the Nika dance. Wow, even Kizaru did the Nika dance. Look at that. Good for him, man. Honestly, this makes the conflict between Kizaru... I wish we'd maybe seen part of this flashback before Kizaru attacked, because it would have made that attack feel more like, I don't know, impactful, you know, because it's like now we know how close all these guys were and how, like, truly they were all, like, part of the same group. Half a year later. Okay, the results are good. After a year of rehabilitation, you'll be completely cured. Thank you, Vegapunk. And now we have Kuma in his warlord outfit. Thank you, Vegapunk. Yeah, thanks. Once I'm all better, can I come and visit? Of course. Foreshadowing. Kingdom of Sorbet. Kumachi, Bonnie-chan. It's been so long. Are you finally home for good? They said I'll be all better in a year. Then I'll finally be able to go outside. Aww. I wonder if she has like a similar sickness to like what Law had. Because Law also had like the white lead sickness, which is different. He could go outside, but it was also like supposedly incurable, you know? Is that right? That's fantastic news. You always said you'd be fit as a fiddle by the time you turn 10. Oh, Queen Dowager Connie, look at this. Does this mean I'll be taking care of you again, Bonnie? Does this mean I'll be taking care of you again, Bonnie? Granny Connie. So Bonnie and Connie. We would be more than happy to take care of her, Kuma. Yeah, you can count on us. So I remember later on, Bonnie can actually make herself look like the Queen Dowager, which is interesting. Thank you. I'll leave her in your hands. I'm still a pirate after all. If I stay, it won't be good for the kingdom. I don't think I'll be back for at least a year. What? That long? I'll write you tons of letters. Okay. Oh, who's this? Damn, who's this nurse? God damn, bruh. Alpha. She's an alpha. Okay. God, man. She's fine, bruh. Cipher poll number 8, intelligent agent alpha. Interesting. But she's playing as a nurse. The next I see you, we'll both be able to sail the seas and reach the horizon. I can't wait. I want to travel to all sorts of places together. I'd love to take you. I really would have loved that. Aw. Man, it'd be nice if they got a happy ending, but I'm just not expecting it, man. Kuma's got to be the sacrificial lamb. He is the tragic character. He's the guts. He's the berserk, you know? Please leave the rest to us, Kuma-san. So now we have these doctors. Who's that? Cipher poll number 8, intelligence agent alpha. I'm a nurse. The doctor ordered me to take care of Bonnie-chan during her recovery. I'll check her temperature daily, make sure she takes her medicine, and monitor for any changes. So I guess she looks a lot like, what's her name? A direct romanization would be Alufa. I mean, she reminds me of the other Cipher poll agent who worked for not Baroque Works. Baroque Works? No, the one that worked for the Galila. Because she's also got the hot stockings on, which is pretty sexy. I'm a nurse. The doctor ordered me to take care of Bonnie-chan during her recovery. I'll check her temperature daily, make sure she takes her medicine, and monitor for any changes. My name is Alpha. Nice to meet you, Bonnie-chan. So this is kind of cool. It's cool to see Cipher poll agents undercover again, you know? I always prefer seeing them undercover to when they're just like, I'm in Cipher poll, look at me, and it's just like, we're warriors and not spies. You know, it's like, not that a spy can also be cool and can't also be a badass warrior, but like I prefer when they're like warriors first, you know? But that's just me. So they're there to make sure Kuma does not visit. No suspicious individuals will be allowed near her during recovery. Please remember to bring identification with you if you plan on visiting. That's such a pain. And what's that building you're putting up in front of the church? Oh, so they're actually building like a wall. They're building like a wall. Those are our accommodations. I mean, they're just straight up like building like literally erected a building right next door. Wow. Don't forget, a child's skull is such a fragile thing, and she crushes like either a cube or a Viva card or something. I understand. I'm not coming back. Thank you, Bonnie. I'm so glad you were born. Really? Aw, I mean, this is like, it's a goodbye with a smile, you know? He's putting on a brave face for her. And it's, oi, 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 what's up, Ishmael? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Just catching up. We're on chapter 1100, 1100, baby. So yeah, it's interesting stuff. It's sad. This is a really sad flashback. I'm just trying not to cry over here. That's what's going on. So he's putting on a brave face for her and becoming the warlord of the sea, the mindless zombie. He sold his soul to the government just to save his daughter. An absolutely beautiful sentiment on this guy's part. Incredible, incredible stuff. Take care. The pirates of the world were utterly shocked when the infamous tyrant Bartholomew Kuma suddenly became an absolutely obedient member of the Seven Warlords. And this is why, now we know why, even before becoming a human weapon, like a completely mindless, human weapon controlled by the world government, this is, what we're seeing here is like, he's obedient to the government because he knows they have leverage on him. They have his daughter. Like, they can make him do whatever they want him to do because, like, if he says no, they could kill her, So, like, they have a hostage. And that's why he is the most obedient member of the Seven Warlords. This explains everything. This is how you do a goddamn flashback. Oda is the GOAT. He's doing it right here. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. This truly does explain it all. Young master, there's a new warlord. So we got Doflamingo, Sugar showing in the paper. Kuma the tyrant. Sounds like another villain has come into the play. If only he knew. It is interesting to see, that, like, because the perception of Kuma was that he was like this stone cold Terminator for so long, but now we know he's just like the biggest softy, like the most well-meaning dad person in the world. Nico Robin here with the Banana Gator and Crocodile. What do you think? I couldn't care less. Have you taken care of those idiots who spotted our remaining ship yet? Have you taken care of those idiots who spotted our rain-making ship yet? Oh, our rain-making ship yet. Okay. This is referencing the hidden ship from chapter 212. Okay, hold on. That I gotta look up. All right, hold on. Chapter 212. That's a deep cut. Let's check that out. I actually want to see what that's all about. Because that is a deep cut. That's interesting to me. That Oda would reference something from that far back. Oh, Smoker, where'd this rain come from? You didn't use the dance powder, did you? Oh, Sandy Island's North Coast Kingdom of Alabasta. Fool, give me a little credit. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is post-Alabasta. This is the rain-making ship. Gotcha. Okay, it's got the crocodile face on it. It's got the dance powder cannon on the top to shoot dance powder out of. And dance powder makes it rain, just like me on your bitch. Just joking. Anyway, so, okay. Yeah, have you taken care of those idiots who spotted our rain-making ship? Yeah, so I guess at this point they're still trying to hide the rain-making ship. It's still under their control. We got the other warlord who actually does work, which is this man right here. He actually goes after pirates, does his job like a good boy. Mihawk, of course, just took out a ship off of his off the coast, looking at the newspaper, riding the waves away from a wreckage that he undoubtedly caused because he's a badass. He looks as big as Whitebeard. Kobe, who do you reckon is stronger, me or him? You, of course, Alvida-sama. Oh, Kobe, way back then. Wow. So they finally found a replacement. That's great news, Jinbei. Oh, interesting. So Ace was already part of Whitebeard's crew? Considering the circumstances, you're the last person I'd expect to say that. I'm still reading the details about him, so Blackbeard is even commenting on it. Or maybe Ace, or maybe Jinbei's commenting on it? Considering the circumstances, you're the last person I'd expect to say that. So Ace was the one who, I guess, previously defeated the last warlord, the warlord that Kuma took the place of. At least that seems to be what's implied here. I'm still reading the details about him. He's a former king. This is on top of the reigning king. This is on top of the reigning king we already have in our ranks. The pirate world really is changing. Excuse me. So I assume he's talking, reigning king, he must be talking about Doflamingo. The business doesn't affect us. I follow no man's orders. So we got Boa Hancock over here. Princess, it's essential that you keep track of information like this. Yep. And we got the boy Moria who's just taking a nap. Kishishishi. They say he's a paw-palmed man. That doesn't exactly sound frightening, does it? Oh, we got Perona with her ghosties floating about. Cute, cute. She's got the crown on. Very cool, very kawaii. Well, he's already a warlord, so he's got to be strong enough to make the cut, Moria-sama. Paw-palmed man. Okay. Don't the warlords answer directly to the government? So obviously Sabo is blown away by this news because he's a former revolutionary. Why would he become a fucking warlord? That doesn't make any sense. And Dragon's like, well, something is fucking wrong. He obviously knows something's amiss. Kuma-san would never work for them. So even Koala's like, what the fuck? And we got Kuma's ship. Dear Bonnie, I'm still at sea as I write this. And he's got like his own ship now, which is kind of cool. And it's got his, it's got the picture that Bonnie drew for him as the mast. That's so cute. As his Jolly Roger. I've become quite well known, and it's getting harder and harder to sail in peace. But I'm doing okay. Aw, so he actually is sending her letters like he said he would. That's really cute. Oh man, this chapter is fucked up, man. I'm doing my best to find interesting travel destinations for when you turn 10. It'll be a long journey to deliver this. Please take care. And we got a news coup delivering it. That's interesting. I hope everyone back home is doing as well as I am. And is Luffy still on? Wait a second. Bartholomew Kuma, come in. You have new commands from the government. What is your current location? I'm in the East Blue. What are my orders? Front cover and color spread next issue. And Luffy is like a young teenager fighting a lion. Uh-oh, I made him mad. So he punched a fucking lion, or a tiger, gave him a fucking bump on his head. He's now running away. He's all scuffed as well. He's fighting tigers. He's fighting animals in the jungle. And Kuma is going to... what's the kingdom? Goa Kingdom. He's going to the Windmill Village. What the fuck does that mean, dude? The fuck? Well, shit. Okay. That's a twist I didn't expect. Him going to Luffy's island. Wow. Wow, that is a great chapter. Great chapter. Very sad. Very emotionally provocative. Yeah, man. I just really want to get to the next one. I spent a lot of time ranting this chapter. I've worn out my vocal cords with all the ranting, all the side tangents I went on. So I'm going to go ahead and grab another drink real quick. I will be right back, guys. Just hold tight. I'll be back in no less than 5 minutes. Or no more than 5 minutes. Excuse me. All right, see you guys in a minute. All right, thank you, everybody. Apologies for the wait there. We are back and ready to tackle chapter 1101. Let's do it. All right, let's see. Okay, we got One Piece chapter 11. We got chapter 1101. We got One Piece on the cover of Shonen Jump. Luffy's snowboarding with sandals on. Epic. Lamau. Luffy doesn't care about the cold. This is a cute. This is a damn cute cover spread here. We got the Vegapunks, Vega Force 01. We got our girl, cute freckle girl, who's a bad guy, whose name I forget right now. We got Atlas. We got this guy, Daft Punk. We got Pythagoras. We got the girl who has the bubble gun, who wears the spandex, and we got, I forget all these guys' names. I feel kind of bad about that, but whatever. And we got Applehead Gramps, looking great. This is a great cover spread. I might use that for my my cover of stuff. Damn! 3 years ago, Mount Kolubu, Kingdom of Goa, East Blue. This is interesting. So Kuma was aware of Monkey D. Luffy before even, honestly, like maybe even more so the dragon somehow. That's interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. Wow, so he sees him practicing Gum Gum axe, or Gum Gum battle axe, even way back then. That's kind of insane. Wow. Okay. Mount Kalubu, Kingdom of Goa, East Blue, and he kills a tiger with one giant kick. Luffy's hometown. All right, chapter 1101, Dear Bonnie. Gum Gum, and he does the fucking sandal kick upwards. Smackdown, axe. So Kuma sees this, and he's like, wow, this kid's pretty tough for a kid. So Luffy's training in the jungle to become a strong pirate boy one day. Yes! All the animals are freaking out, and they're running away. And he's like, dragon. You seem familiar with this island. Oh, right, because he's been here before. He was here back during the burning of the Trash Mountain. I remember that now. He was with the Revolutionary during that period. What's up, Sour? I ended stream before. I remember you were alive, so I forgot to raid your Sag. Oh, no. You mean my stream, bruh? Would have even been a One Piece related raid, too. God damn it, Sour. You fucked it, man. Nah, it's all good, bro. Appreciate you stopping by, though. Good to see you. You seem familiar with this island. Not only that, but I noticed when you snuck off to the outskirts to check out that little village earlier. There was a young boy there. If you keep talking about this, you may as well kill me yourself. What do you mean? A child is their parents' weak spot. So he realizes, oh shit. I'm sorry, I'll forget what I saw. So a child is their parents' weak spot. So yeah, because he's a deadbeat dad, he, he's like, don't mention my kid. It'll make me fucking sad about abandoning him and leaving him an orphan on this island all by himself to, fucking starve and die in the woods. Because I suck. I'm a terrible parent. A deadbeat ass motherfucker. I'm sorry, I'll forget what I saw. So he knows that this is Dragon's son. He has an inkling anyway. What an awesome finishing move. I'll save it for when I'm up against a super strong enemy after I set sail and get my crew. Nice. So even back then, Luffy was... Oh, Monkey D. Luffy, age 16. So 1 year before he set sail. Wow, this is cute. This is so cute, man. Look at little Luffy. Oh, it's so cute to see him like all hyped and excited about and scaring the fucking beasts of the jungle with his attacks. I got to be ready. I also like to see, like, I feel like some people think like Luffy came up with a lot of these moves on the spot, and I'm sure he comes up with some of them on the spot because he's very creative. But I like that. I like that he'd been practicing. He's practicing his moves on the beasts of the jungle of Goa. Very in line with his like training during the time skip. He was on another island with like huge, like gargantuan beasts, right? I got to be ready for when someone tries to take them away. I won't ever let that happen. But if anyone tries it, and it's interesting because now this has all been recontextualized. We're looking at Kuma, looking at the future Nika, right? So like he's been obsessed with like the god of liberation or like the hero of liberation. He's looking at the hero of liberation right here. This is or the future hero of liberation. That's interesting. I won't ever let that happen, but if anyone tries it, blam, I'll give him a gum axe to the face. Pretty cool, right? And the fucking tiger and the alligator are like, yeah, dude, just don't point that in our direction, bro. Don't worry, I don't eat wimps. Gah! Gotcha, that's pretty cool. Oh, but he notices Kuma. ... Ring, ring. So, okay, he gets a fucking telephone call and he's like, huh? Ring, pop, and he disappears. Who's there? Weird. What was that feeling just now? It gave me the chills. Interesting. So even back when before he set sail, Kuma was watching out for Luffy. He's been like Luffy's kind of like guardian angel, sort of. That's really interesting because like he literally saved Luffy on like multiple occasions. I think he's about to save the crew from J. Garcia Saturn, like in the present manga once we get back to the present. So yeah, this is fucking nuts. I bet there's still some tough opponents around here. I'm gonna whoop them all before I set sail. Yeah, so he's like looking for some tough guys to fight. Sour says, which is the better dad, Yasop or Dragon? Honestly, probably Yasop. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I mean, they both suck. So, I mean, I guess Dragon at least saved Luffy from Smoker that one time, so I guess that was kind of nice. I don't know. Like, it would have to be... Because, you know, for back in the day, I thought Kuma saved Luffy and the crew on Dragon's orders. Like, I thought Dragon asked Kuma to look after Luffy. But now we just know that that isn't the case. So now, like, any idea of, like, oh, Dragon was actually always kind of, like, you know, kind of trying to look after Luffy in his own way, despite having, like, bigger, loftier goals of, like, protecting the whole world or, like, saving the whole world from the world government, protecting civil liberties, etc. Like, now I know, like, Kuma just took it upon himself to come here and keep an eye on Monkey D. Luffy. So Dragon had literally nothing to do with it, so never mind. Yeah, I don't know. Probably Yasopp, but who knows? I mean, I don't know. Who has a better excuse for being a deadbeat dad? Probably Dragon. Like, he's actually trying to do some real, like, make a real difference in the world, where Yasopp's just kind of fucking around as a pirate, you know? So I guess, like, if you ask, like, who has the more noble cause, probably Dragon. Probably Dragon. Okay. So we got Kuma versus another ship. Some pirates fled after raiding a nearby merchant ship. Your orders are to blow those lowlifes out of the water. They came out of nowhere. We need to get the wounded to the nearest hospital. Huh? Okay. Kuma, come in. What are you doing? Oh, is he saving people? I'll go on ahead with them. The rest of you should follow as soon as you can. So he's actually saving the injured people. Thank you so much. We thought they weren't going to make it. So Kuma's always been like a nice boy deep down. Kuma, respond immediately. Turn yourselves in. So he's demanding they turn themselves in. Wait, we didn't mean nothing by it. We'll give everything back. Everybody, fork over all your loot. It ain't worth our lives, dear Bonnie. So he's like kind of being a good warlord in a sense, or like he's being a cop, but he's like being a cop who like lets people off the hook. He's like, you know, I could arrest you, but if you just like say you're sorry, I will let you off with like a slap on the wrist. You know, it feels like that's kind of like Kuma is just like he's a cop who knows restraint, which, you know, believe it or not, I actually appreciate. So, you know, I get it. I get it. Dragon just recognizes that Viva la Revolution is more important than family. Honestly based, honestly red-pilled, honestly dope. I support being estranged from your family if it means usurping the oppressive system. You would, Sour, you would. Good man, good man. Everybody fork over all your loot. Okay, the world is full of beauty that can't be captured in photos or picture books. I mean, honestly, for real. You know, we got the sun, we got the birds, we got the clouds, we got the sun. Is this a sunrise or a sunset? I'm not sure, but it is beautiful. And I like Kuma's boat. It's very cute. I like that he's probably just managing it by himself, you know? But he's actually got a legit boat this time, one that's big enough for his bulky ass body. Because I remember a couple chapters ago, he was in like a tiny dinghy, and it was just not big enough for this man, this absolute unit of a man. I long to see your bright smiling face as you experience such wonders for yourself. Meanwhile, in the kingdom of Sorbet, is it here yet? Is it here yet? Is it here yet? Is it here yet? Is it here? Oh, so has she not received any letters? Have they torn up all of her letters? All of his letters? Man, that's fucked up, dude. How about now? Come on. I'm sure he's very busy with work. That or the news coups keep messing up. Wow, they're confiscating his mail, dude. Fuck, man. I mean, I'm not sure why I'm surprised. Like, it just is sad, because, like, he is trying to keep in touch. He's trying to do what he said he was going to do and, like, write to her every day. And, like, it's really sad that, like, to me, that's really fucked up. Like, that's genuinely fucked. Kuma makes me so sad, man. Yeah, dude, this is a really sad flashback. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out there, man. Kuma's a favorite of mine, and seeing this is, like, done a lot to confirm, like, a lot of feelings I had about him prior to this flashback. Like, I already kind of figured a lot of this stuff would be the case, but it's just fucked up, man. It's just, have we seen this guy somewhere else? I feel like we've seen this guy with the cowboy hat and the freckles somewhere. Like, this guy looks like he was one of, like, the bandits from, but I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. But Daddy said he'd write a whole bunch of letters. Now, dear, letters have to go on a long trek of their own, you know. One will turn up sooner or later, Bonnie, you'll see. Coo, coo, thud. So, okay, the news coups are doing their thing. Flap, flap, what have we here? A newspaper and another heartwarming letter. Oh, she's fucking tearing them up. Put this in the church's mailbox. Yes, ma'am. Is it a letter? No, just a morning paper. That's so fucked up. Fuck these guys, man. And they're ripping them up. Fuck, dude. I thought maybe you should be able to find them at some point. Another one? Yep. How many does this make? He's sending around 10 a month, so that's a fair few. How's he even finding so much to write about? To Bonnie, with quotation marks. Fuck this bitch, man. Tear. Ugh, how much mushy can you get? Fuck this bitch, man. One last thing, Bonnie. You're probably sick of me saying this, but I love you so much. That's so fucked up, dude. I'll be sure to write again soon. Yo, let's spar! Again? Come on, Bonnie, how about some Jenga instead? I said I want to fight. So she's trying to get strong and swole, and she's beating up her friends. Bonnie-chan, it's time for your medicine. Am I imagining things? I could have sworn Bonnie was huge just now. Oh, she's back to being small, and he's all beat up. That's funny. Yuck, does the medicine have to be this bitter? That just means it's working. As if this is just some horrid lemon-flavored placebo. Fuck these guys. Japanese use ramune, which is lemonade-like soft drink. Hey, Granny Connie, why are we hiding Bonnie's abilities again? To be safe, you know. What they say, a talented hawk hides its claws. Okay, fair. And we actually have Egghead. Egghead's looking like Egghead now. It's a bit of a city. It's a bit of an, what would you call it? Like a atom punk city. Very cool, very cool. Navy Science Division, Lab 08. Amazing, Doctor. I can't believe you did it. Now we just have to lift the brain and lab using island clouds. About half of what you see here is holographic. I had planned for Punk Hazard to be like this too, you know. And he cut his brain out. Nice. Sarah says, remember, this flashback is Bonnie in the present experiencing Kuma's memories. I thought as much, yeah. I mean, I'm glad that that's what it is. Because I was actually wondering if that's what it was. I'm glad that you contextualized that. I appreciate that. So she has found Kuma's letters. It just took until now. Yeah, fuck. Goddamn. She's seeing that Kuma was writing to her all the time now after years of not receiving them as promised. Yeah, that's fucked up, man. And we got, this is, not the, wait, is this the clone of Stussy, or is this like Stussy D. Buckingham or whatever her name is? I'm pretty sure this is the clone, I want to say. Pepe, I feel light as a feather. Kuma, I heard you're going to lose your sense of individuality. Aw. Yeah. I wonder which of us has the most checkered fate. The human that lacks free will or the clone that doesn't? Wow. I mean, probably the clone that doesn't, because you still have free will, motherfucker. Knock it off, Stussy. You're just as human as the rest of us. I mean, she's basically Vegapunk's daughter. It's so interesting to see this, like, kind of... Like, Kuma has been part of, like, so many groups over the years. Like, he was part of, like... You know, he was one of the slaves that escaped from God's Valley. He was part of the Revolutionary Army. And then he was, like, part of this, like, science crew that was, like, doing these, like, cool things on Egghead Island. Like, with Kizaru and Vegapunk and Stussy and, I don't know, like, even, like, you know, Vegapunk himself. Like, it's really cute. And Bonnie was part of that crew as well. Like, it's really interesting to see how many, like, how many lives this character has touched, you know, and like how connected he is with the larger, you know, these different factions in the larger world of One Piece. Like, it really is super interesting. Like, Kuma is such a One Piece character in the sense that, like, he is truly like a character who touches the lives of everyone he interacts with, and like is like such a linchpin on which the world of One Piece spins. Like, it really is truly interesting to see how important he was in the grand scheme of things, you know? I wonder which of us has the most checkered fate. Yeah, okay, just as human as the rest of us. What exactly should I expect? So we got Kuma chilling. When my personality is erased, I'll put it like this. You may already have a reputation for being totally obedient, but what would you do if you were asked to kill a child? What it means is you'll lose not only your memories, but any empathy or humanity holding you back from fulfilling such a command. Jesus. That being said, you should retain some degree of free will until the process is fully complete. That'll give you roughly 1 more year. Another letter? I'll keep writing till I run out of time. Bonnie deserves to know how I feel. I want to send her a whole lifetime's worth of love before this year is over. Dude, God. It's so fucked up, man. It's so fucked up that they're tearing the letters up. Like, why? It's not like it contains like vital information. It's literally just love letters, dude. Like, that's so fucking... That's actually so fucked. Like, that makes me really upset. From a slave to a priest to a king to a pirate to a revolutionary. Well, no, from a slave to a priest to a revolutionary to a king to a pirate to a test subject to a warlord to a pacifista. Let's just be perfectly real about the exact progression of things. I think you have your progression slightly out of whack here, Sour. But you know, you're on the right track. Kuma's life is among the most diverse of all characters. Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I love this guy. You know, I've always had a big soft spot for Kuma. I've always thought he was like a really interesting character among the cast. Like I literally am playing Baldur's Gate right now, and I've done like D&D campaigns in the past. I've literally named my like go-to character Kuma. You know, like it's a he's been a character that's left a big impression on me specifically. So like, yeah, I love this guy. I have a big soft spot for him. I'll keep writing till I run out of yeah. So this is fucking sad. How sweet. So she loves him because everyone loves this man because he's the best guy ever. God, of course she loves him. Because who wouldn't? Bonnie's almost 9 now. I wonder how big she's gotten. Do you think she's changed a lot? I don't know when you'll get this letter, but happy birthday, Bonnie. Fuck. Damn it. I'm back at Vegapunk's lab. Things are busy around here. Happy birthday, Bonnie! And of course she won't get the letter because this fucking CP's agent is just like a bitch for no reason. Like, this is one thing I don't love about Oda's writing is like, I'm sure he's doing this for a reason. Like, I'm sure it's going to be impactful when she learns about the letters, right? Or when we see her learn about the letters, because clearly we're witnessing this from her perspective. But it's still like fucked up, you know, it's still sad that like, I don't know, like, why do they have to be over the top evil? It's not like he's including any, like, fucking malice in his letters. They could screen the letters and then give them to her to make sure they don't include, like, any, like, insider information. God damn it. Granny Crawny made me an extra special giant pizza for you. I love that she's, like, loves pizza. That's just so cute. That's such, like, a specific thing. And, like, literally, I think the first panel we ever see of Bonnie is her eating, like, a big slice of pizza. So I love that that's... like her thing. Like pizza is like the thing that she loves the most. Woohoo, thanks, I love it. They made her a giant pizza like the one in Hoboken. Fuck yeah. Hoboken bros, we out here. So good. We got big bubble blowing nose boys. Nothing, there's still no letter. So she goes out, she tries to see if there's a letter. Daddy, I'm 9 now. You said you'd write. I mean, this is genuinely... This is genuinely so fucked up, man. This is so fucked up. Interesting, but for the longest time, somewhat mysterious, but now we know is amongst the sweetest and kind-hearted individuals. I mean, I've always felt like Kuma was, like, truly, like, a good person. Like, I never, like, anytime when he was, like, brought up as, like, the tyrant, I'm always like, like, you know, in One Piece, like, if someone's called the demon child or the tyrant, you know they're, like, just, like, a perfect goody boy, you know, like, they're just, like, an actual, like, saint of a person, and they've never done anything wrong in their entire fucking life, you know, they're just, like, an actual sweetheart, you know, so it's, like, to me, like, I've always believed that Kuma was, like, just an actual beautiful, like, you know, soul that has literally done nothing but good things since we met them, basically, you know? At least, like, what we've seen of him on screen. Like, I always knew that, like, this idea of him being a tyrant was some, like, spin by the world government. Because of course it is, you know? Who has faced effectively nothing but hardship and heartache. Yeah. In regards to over-the-top evil, remember the celestial dragons exist, and they are not inaccurate allegories to the real-life ruling class throughout history. Sure, I just find it uninteresting, you know? I find it uninteresting to have a villain who's just like, like, I don't know, I'm not saying that there aren't people who would do that, I just think it's like, you know, I don't know, I think it's more rare. Like, because I feel like a truly evil person just, like, wouldn't give a fuck, you know? Or would, like, maybe, like, throw them in the trash, but not, like, specifically rip them all up, you know? Like, be like, who cares? Like, just, like, toss it away. Like, oh, we can't have them have any contact. Just, like, throw it in the trash. Or, like, you know, like, ripping it up specifically, I don't know, just feels, like, malicious in a way that, like, a truly, like, evil person, I don't know. Like, it's like, so over the line of, like, what I would assume, like, someone callous, because a callous person would just be like, just throw that in the trash, like, you know, like, maybe it'll get paper shredded at some point, but, like, I feel like they just wouldn't give a fuck, you know, like, the fact that this person is, like, specifically like, oh, how sappy, like, or, like, at least have them screen the like, I don't know, to me, this feels like over-the-top evil in a mustache twirling way that I don't appreciate, you know, and I don't care if it's allegorical to real-life ruling class throughout history. Personally, I don't think that's, like, this is a, like, allegory to anything. I think it's just mustache twirling evil bullshit. I'm not saying that there aren't good allegorical examples within One Piece of, like, actual horrible things that ruling class people do. I'm just saying, to me, this is, like, mustache twirling in a way, mustache twirling evil in a way that I find to be, that it goes past my level of credulity, I guess. I don't know, if that makes sense. With Cypher Pole being effectively the CIA, and believe me, man, the CIA is really, really evil. Yep. But the CIA has, let's say this, evil, sure, you could argue that, but what are they doing? They're trying to, like, you know, they have a goal in mind. They're trying to, like, keep the peace. Like, for instance, I've been re-watching Naruto, sort of, you know, rereading it, rewatching it, and, like Danzo and, like, the Leafs, like, kind of, like, root Anbu or whatever, like, they are doing things, they're doing, like, shady shit and cause a lot of do a lot of fucked up things that are, like, amoral as fuck, but they always do it with, like, a purpose in mind. Like, they always do it with, like, this could be a thing that would fuck up the village, we need to make a tough decision here. To me, that is, like, a much more accurate representation of how forces in the real world work, especially, like, these kind of shady secret organization type of things. Like, that is a much better representation of that than we have here. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. Like, it's just that makes a way more sense, because guess what? These decisions aren't made in a vacuum. Usually people aren't evil just for evil's sake. I'm not saying that, you know, callous 1%ers aren't fucked up because they don't, you know, have empathy for people that they, you know, see as lesser than themselves, because that is a thing that happens. I'm just saying I don't see, like a secret organization person doing this feels like something that a celestial dragon would do, but this person isn't a celestial dragon, they are a CIA person. And to me, having them screen the letters and or hold them somewhere, or, like, you know, having more of, like, a less, like, disgust at, like, compassion and, like, sentimentality, and more just like, yeah, we just can't let these letters get to her because that would cause us a problem. That would be more realistic, in my opinion. That would make more sense, in my opinion. It wouldn't strain my credulity. That's how I feel. The celestial dragons and those who work for them are deliberately characterized as seeing other people as some human. Yes, but here's the thing. Celestial dragons, it makes sense for, because they do see people as some human. The people who work for the celestial dragons, not all of them see everyone as subhuman. Kaku doesn't see everyone who isn't a celestial dragon as subhuman. We just know this for a fact. Like, Bluno, who worked in a bar, he's gonna follow orders, but he doesn't see his fucking bar denizens as subhuman, or else he wouldn't have been able to get into character. Khalifa, you can take her leave. Maybe she does, because she's a fucking dom weirdo, you know, like, she's always looking down on whoever. Lucci, probably the same. You know, he's, like, kind of a fucked up, like, alt-right weirdo. But, like, Kaku and like Bluno are like working class type of gents who just happen to be really efficient and work for the government and were raised working for the government, right? They're willing to make tough decisions for what they deem or what they see as the greater good. They're going to follow orders to a T because they're perfect soldiers, whatever. To me, that's a lot more interesting. That's a lot more true to the reality that most people who are employed by, governments in Secret Service agencies actually operate, because a lot of them are from not from 1% things. They're actually just people who excel in their fields and are just do believe what they're doing is right in some capacity, or at least they're trying to achieve some sort of greater good. You know what I'm saying? But it's fair to see it not as particularly interesting writing. I see it as that, and I also see it as fairly unrealistic in this particular circumstance. If it were a Celestial Dragon doing this, I would find that to be more realistic, but it's not. It's Secret Service, For me, it would make more sense if they were screening the letters, because they wanted to make sure that he's not sending her some sort of secret messages in between, I hear you. Makes sense. Okay, I'm glad you see where I'm coming from. And so another half a year passed without a single letter reaching the church. Fucked up, but what are you gonna do? Revolutionary Army HQ Baltigo. Kuma came to the rescue again. Yeah, it's just like all those other times. The Revolutionary Army forces were on the ropes. Then he swooped in to save us at the last minute. After that, he left without saying a word. If Kuma wishes not to be followed, we have to respect that. Kuma-san! I'm sure he has his reasons for keeping us in the dark. Okay, so they're he's doing kind of good things. He's getting them out of sticky situations, but then he leaves immediately because he can't be associated with them, right? I'm all better. Look, the stones are completely gone. Her jewels are gone. No, not Jewelry Bonnie losing your jewels. Oh shit. I can finally go outside. Not a chance, Bonnie-chan. You must stay put. We've been told to keep you under close supervision until your 10th birthday. You liar. Vegapunk said I'd be fine after a year. And that was a year ago. I forbid it. Alpha and the others are government intelligence agents, so Queen Dowager Connie knows what's up. Good on her. What? Shh. They let it slip while they were getting drinks in town. Oh shit. Well, these guys, apparently they suck too. Apparently they're just fucking incompetent. That sucks. I mean, okay, now I was talking about how I didn't feel like these guys were good representation of government agents. Now I feel even more like that. They let it slip while they were getting drinks in town. What kind of fucking federal agents are you? What the fuck? That's just fucking incompetence on the highest degree. What are they? CP1? I know, right? CP8. How did this bitch get to CP8? She's such a fucking burn this trash can full of letters so that no one ever finds it, at least, do your fucking job, you bitch. Anyway, they let it slip while they were getting drinks in town. Apparently your disease has been cured for a while now. Really? We must be missing something. Why would they keep a perfectly healthy young girl trapped inside for another 6 months? Also, I find it hard to believe that Kuma wouldn't send a single letter. Yeah! Okay, I'm glad that she's questioning this narrative. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, Bonnie. And Connie is also the one kind of being no, of course he would send a letter. Come on. I've already sorted everything out with Gyo and the others. Head for the port, Bonnie. Sail the seas and go find your father. They're sending a fucking 10-year-old, a not even 10-year-old girl out to sea by herself. What the fuck? Connie, this is a fucking stupid idea. Are you crazy, girl? I mean, at least send him with, Wait a second. Hold on. I just realized something. Wait a minute. I know where I've seen this guy. This dude with the fucking cowboy hat. He's a member of Bonnie's crew. I remember because he was on when Blackbeard captured Bonnie. Blackbeard was gonna fuck Bonnie, guys. He was like, you can join my crew if you become my woman. She's 10 years old, bro. She was 10 years old 2 years ago, dude. Or maybe 11 or something. Blackbeard is fucked up, bro. I mean, to be fair, I was sympathetic for Bonnie a little bit back when we first met her, because obviously I didn't know she was just a fucking child. But goddamn, dude, this is fucked up. Blackbeard, you should have known better. Blackbeard doesn't give a fuck, though. He'll fuck anything that, walks on two legs. But yeah, no, this is he's a member of Bonnie's crew. I just realized where I recognize this guy. Because I remember when Bonnie was captured by Blackbeard, this guy was fucked up and he was lying there like, oh, fuck Bonnie, no, Captain Bonnie. Yeah, dude, fuck. So he didn't send, she didn't send her to sea by herself. These guys are like Bonnie crew members, or some of these guys anyway, I think are Bonnie crew members. All right, hold on. Let me confirm this by finishing the chapter. We're going to read one more after this too. Okay, so can I really do it? So he's sending her out. So Queen Dowager Connie is sending her out to sea. Gyo-Gyo and the rest aren't your average fishermen. They're they're a strong pack of hooligans. I'm sure the pirates and the sea beasts will turn tail once they see them in action. Interesting. So Gyo-Gyo. So Gyo-Gyo is the guy with the cowboy hat, I think. They'll be there to help you find Kuma. Nice. I'm going back to the palace. I see. Take care. Wow. Wow, dude. Aw, Queen Dowager Connie's a real one, bro. A real one, dude. So this is the outside world. There's so much dirt and grass. Aw. This is like when Shirahoshi went up to the surface world and saw the sun for the first time. This is so cute. There's so much dirt and grass. Look at the sky. There's the sun. Bonnie's actually walking outside, and they're all crying for her. This is beautiful. It's a miracle. There really is a God. I never thought I'd see the day. Bonnie, over here. Gyo-Gyo, tots, potato. Okay, so all these potato puns. That's so cute. Look, everyone, I'm really outside. Where's Bonnie? I just saw the Queen Dowager outside. What the hell is going on? It's me, Bonnie. You lying old prune. Okay, so these guys lost the child they were supposed to safeguard. What a bunch of fucking losers. And she's got a sick-ass ship already. It looks like it's like a mini Whole Cake Island type of ship. It's got the fucking cake icing on the side. It's got a fishbone with a skull and crossbones. This is awesome. Set sail. Wow. We made the ship look like a pizza for you. It doesn't look anything like a pizza, but okay. Whatever you say. Whoa. Holy shit. Hold it right there. Okay, so the nurse is running at her. Oh, man, we're going to see Bonnie set sail. Yeah, boy. Alpha found us. You think you can get away from me? I'll beat you to within an inch of your life. Enough of this charade. I'll keep you chained up day and night. That'll make things much easier. Yeah, so we got Bonnie's cowboy-hatted crewman, I think is Gyo-Gyo, is what his name is. She's flying towards us, so she's doing the skywalk Geppo. That's one of the 6 powers. I was ordered to eliminate any accomplices. Hey, Daddy, what did Nika look like? Oh, shit, we're getting a Nika thing. Oh, man, he got her ass over here because Oda's drawing butts now. Hell yeah, bro, hell yeah. No one knows. Distorted future. So she makes herself fucking giant, looking like a... I mean, it's funny because she looks like Kuma in this form. She looks like a... what you call it? Like a buccaneer, you know, when she gets all big and swole like that. Distorted future. Bonnie! But they say his body was all rubbery, and there was no limit to what he could do in a fight. So she's kind of like... she kind of has some Nika elements herself, you know? That's pretty cool. She gives him the big ol' Gear 3 punch. Bam! Give me a Nika-ish future. Wow! So a Nika-ish future. The government would soon receive word that their hostage, Bonnie, escaped to find her father. Wow, so that's literally the reason she set sail, is to find Kuma. I mean, I'm not surprised, but man, does that recontextualize things. I want to go back to, like, Saba Odi and reread Bonnie's, like, try to keep an eye on Bonnie's story from then on, because whoa, that's huge. Wow. Like Luffy and the others, her vessel would gain fame. It would go from a humble fishing boat to an infamous pirate ship in the new era. A young girl heading for the future. Damn, bruh, what a chapter. So this was kind of more of a Bonnie chapter than it was a Kuma chapter. But Bonnie's really stepping up and becoming a badass. She took out a Cypher Pull member. And it was cool to see, like, Kuma's connection with Luffy. Like, whoa. Good stuff, dude. Great chapter. Just rather read at least one letter, man. That's how I've been feeling, dude. Depressed as fuck about this shit. But damn, that was good stuff. Bonnie, what a great character. Her relationship with Kuma, so good. I wonder who her like biological dad was, or if we'll find out. But man, all right, guys, on to chapter 1102. Let's get into the next chapter. I think I'm just gonna do one more for tonight, and then we'll call it a night. The life of Kuma. So we got dog, coyote, Bonnie eating they're all eating hot dogs. This is great. You gotta love this. Cover request by, so dogs eating dogs. It's a dog eat dog world out there. This is cute. She's got some milk. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. We got another hyena, coyote looking guy over here laughing or begging for a hot dog himself. I don't know. This is cute. Bonnie not waiting to stuff her face at a meal with a pack of wolves who carefully built up a huge stash of hot dogs. So, oh, she took his hot dog, I think, is what's happening here. That's why he's so pissed off. He was waiting for a hot dog. All right, we got the Bonnie we know and love. The girl who keeps pushing forward. No doubt about it. Bonnie, Kumachi's here. No doubt about it, Bonnie. Kumachi's here. Okay, so this guy with the hat was her friend growing up, and now, or like, you know, it's like kind of like these are all like sort of these rowdy fuckers. She's got a crew of rowdy fuckers, and she's kind of like a young rowdy fucker herself. This is so fucking cute, man. This is such a fucking cute like backstory. Honestly, Bonnie's crew has such a great aesthetic. I really like the design of her and her crew, and like she's got such a cool outfit. I know I can't like, you know, because she's just a child, like a prepubescent, like I can't like, you know, I can't look at her the same way now, but I still like, I have a much deeper appreciation for her character and like her crew and everything she's doing. And damn, like her fit is so dope. God, I wish I could simp because the fit is so sick, you know? But whatever, it's all good. Quit calling me by my name. I'm the captain, ain't I? Okay, Captain then. It looks like there are Marines here too, though. All right, men. The Bonnie Pirates have arrived. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Oh, so that's why her clothes are like too small for her almost, because she's like an actual child. Even though these tights, like, where the fuck did they come from? I don't know. We've got orders to bring them in immediately. They say the last city that they attacked was packed with injured seniors and even little children. They say the last city they attacked was packed with injured seniors and even little children. Oh, it's because she turned them into old men and young children, of course. They're the worst type of scum. And then she turns them into old people and fucking children, of course. Oh, so they're all fucked up. A big guy, yeah? I've seen him. He was on the outskirts of town. I can't see you, Bonnie. Please understand. So he knows that Bonnie's there, but he can't stick around. It's hard to believe you became a pirate of all things, but you mustn't chase after me. Damn, this is tragic. Where the hell did he go? We've already been dubbed pirates. We may as well keep searching, even if it takes a while. Right, Captain? If we're gonna take it slow, then I want to look for Nika too. So she wants to find Nika. Interesting. So she's found Nika in the present, and I feel like she's pretty close to finding her dad too, to be honest. Imagine Daddy's face when I tell him I found Nika at so-and-so island. Don't you think he'd be thrilled? Wow, so this is back at the same time that Luffy just went to sea at his 30 million berry bounty. Meanwhile, in the East Blue, having crushed the vicious fishmen of the Arlong pirates, all right, I got a bounty. Straw Hat Luffy has stepped into the spotlight. Wow. You're going to Logtown? What for? No particular reason. Who's in charge there? That'd be Captain Smoker. So, okay, so this is back when Sabo had amnesia, back when he was a bitch, and back when Odo sucked at writing. Jinbei, guess whose kid brother is on this bounty poster? A brat like this took down Arlong? That's right, he's my kid brother. Oh, that's cute. So Jinbei and I love Jinbei and Ace being buddies, and I love Ace in his like old fit with the shirt before he went shirtless. That's cute. That's actually really cute. I like that a lot. And Ace looks like particularly like happy-go-lucky and like Luffy-like here, which I also appreciate, you know. So I guess this must be before Ace took off to tail Blackbeard, actually. So wow, that must have been a long time ago. I mean, we knew he showed what's his name? Whitebeard, Luffy's bounty poster as well, because Whitebeard remembered that Luffy showed that to him, so. Yeah. What the fuck? Why is this pop up here? Get the fuck out of here. The real question is, do people affected by her power ever return to normal? Is there an area of effect? Or does it work like sugar and she needs to be exhausted or unconscious to unconsciousness first? That is a good question. I assume it must not be a forever thing, because Luffy got turned into a grandpa by her and he's like back to normal, right? So I assume it's like a limited time period thing, right? Like it must be. Interesting. But that's an interesting question. We don't know for sure. That's for sure. So this is when Jinbei found out that Luffy took down Arlong. That's pretty cool. Is there now an elderly and child brigade of the Marines? I hope so. I hope that they separated those two into different brigades, you know? Also, I assume Bonnie turned Luffy back to normal manually. That might be true. That might be true. What a curious twist of fate, Dragon. To think your boy would become a pirate. Here are our ironclad rules of piracy. Plunder whatever you want from bad guys. Rob them blind. And don't help a soul unless they really need it. Okay, so like none of these are ironclad at all. Not a soul, yeah. I mean, Bonnie is based. This is a base speech. Ironclad rules, but like plunder whatever you want from bad guys specifically. Rob them blind. And don't help a soul. Unless they really need it. Not a soul. Wow, okay. That's funny. Yes, that's it. That's exactly how you put on lipstick. Aw. So she's, I mean, not really, but okay. That's cute. Great, I'm totally a grown-up now. And she also got a piercing. I also put this on. Daddy might not even recognize me without something on my cheek. Aw, that's cute. I'm just a kid getting her fucking eyelid pierced is crazy, but hey, go for it, girl. It's a good style on you, for sure. Next, I just gotta make a name for myself. That'll get his attention. Oh, wow. So these are the Pacifista. Damn. Egghead, New World. This is unsettling. You think so? Their progression is going as smoothly as your own modifications. Never mind that, though. Did you hear the news? Apparently, some rookies declared war on the world government. Yeah, fuck. What? Dragon has a son? If I'm going to let you study all my memories, there's no point in trying to hide it. Yeah, okay, so he knows about Dragon's son. He knew about him even before he set sail, apparently. So, very interesting. A man with rubber powers standing up to the government. What a quirk of fate. He sounds just like my idol, Nika. Pepepe, that's true. A man with rubber powers standing up to the world government. What a quirk of fate. He sounds just like my idol, Nika. That's so funny that Kuma would say that. Thriller Bark, Grand Line. The government has given me special orders to wipe you all out. That said, I'm sure they'd be satisfied if I only brought them Straw Hat Luffy's head. Hand him over and I'll spare your lives. Go to hell! That was one of the best moments in all of One Piece when they all were like, fuck off, fuck you! And he blew them all up, but left them all alive. Because he's a good boy. Because he's a good boy and he wasn't trying to kill them, you know? What a shame. Ursa's shock! Luffy is the man who will become the king of the pirates. If you truly mean to take his place, you must be willing to bear all his pain and suffering yourself. This much damage might not be enough to even knock me out. This much damage might be enough to even knock me out. That's what he's thinking in his head. Wow. He has exceptional friends, just as I'd expect of your son, Dragon. Wow, dude. That was one of the best moments in all of One Piece. That moment where, like, Luffy, or the crew fights Kuma to defend Luffy is so good. And it's interesting to see it recontextualized here. But, like, we always knew that Kuma wasn't, like... at least in hindsight, it's like Kuma wasn't really trying to kill anyone there. Like it became pretty clear, especially once you learn his connection with Dragon, which we learned like a long time ago. Like it seems like he was always like, you know, at least like maybe would have taken Luffy to Vegapunk, but I don't think he would have taken Luffy to the world government. I don't know. It's possible he would have. Who knows? But he definitely failed that mission on purpose. We know that for a fact. Dude, I can't believe it never crossed Vegapunk's mind that he was creating weapons for the world government when he agreed to deal to make the pacifista. I think it did cross his mind at some point, but like, yeah, he's pretty naive about, like, Vegapunk is extremely naive or like surprisingly stupid for a genius. Let's be honest. Like he's got the autism, bro. He's definitely got the autism. I'm gonna make these things that are going to secure peace. Proceeds to make extremely dangerous weapons with lasers in their hands, right? Yeah, fuck that. Because enforced peace has always worked. Yep. True. Yeah, no, Vegapunk is a dumbass, kind of. Let's just be honest. He's at very least, like, too trusting. Like, way too trusting. Of the government, specifically. Alright, near the Subodi Archipelago. We're calling in all 7 warlords of the sea. If you refuse to come, you'll be forfeiting your title. Quite the statement. What's the occasion? The flag bearer of the new era, Portges de Ace. Oh, the flag? They called him the flag bearer of the new era, Portges de Ace. His public execution date has been set. This will mean war with the Whitebeard pirates. War with the Whitebeard? Will be sure to arrive before the. I will be sure to arrive before the execution date. Subodi Archipelago. And she was there. She was there. I remember her crying around this time. I don't remember why. Maybe because she saw the pacifista. Subodi Archipelago. Where's my food? I'm wasting away here. Pizza. Bring me more now. Fuck yeah. I love that she's such a glutton. Yeah, the glutton Jewelry Bonnie is such a great name. And he's looking in on her. That's so funny. Dot, dot, dot. And he's there in a cloak, so he can't be witnessed. Sneak, sneak. He's such a big guy, but he's trying to sneak. That's actually so funny. Captain, the Navy will take notice if you keep causing a scene. This is the last time I'll see your face. Become a truly indomitable pirate, Bonnie. Wow. Wow, that's beautiful right there. Aw, and she looks so happy here. Aw, that's so cute that he was trying to be all sneaky and spying her, and everyone's like, hey, can you see this motherfucker peeking around the corner? Literally everyone can see him. The pirate just hit a celestial dragon. They'll send a warship from Navy HQ. That's the human shop. And as a former slave, we know that's not something that sits right with him. Someone attacked a celestial dragon? Who would dare do that? The whole world knows that's taboo. And we're so close to Navy HQ, too. It's practically suicide. Them again? The Straw Hat Pirates? Damn. He did it to protect a fishman? Straw Hat Luffy? And then this guy, Usopp hit him with his butt. Oh, that was so funny. And then the other pirates took out the knights. No one has done anything this bold for hundreds and hundreds of years. I mean, except for Fisher Tiger. Just saying. Surprise! Did Oda forget? Did Kuma forget? Somebody forgot, because Fisher Tiger was a pretty big deal. I'm just saying. Just saying. That was pretty important. Pretty important thing not to forget, Oda. Pretty important thing not to forget, Kuma. Hack. Fucking hack. Oda, you're a fucking hack. You're a loser. You're making Luffy a bigger deal than he should be. Fuck you, Oda. Fuck you. So, you're so close. I know what he's trying to do. I know he's trying to be like, oh, this is so fucking Nika-pilled. Only Nika would do something like this. When literally Fisher Tiger did it. Literally, Fisher Tiger did it. Literally, you saved a bunch of slaves from Celestial Dragons yourself, Kuma, like 20 or so years ago. God damn it, Oda. Stop wanking this man. Stop wanking this rubber fuck, dude. Like, just let other people in the story be important besides the main guy. Because why does this shit matter to him so much? Why? Because Oda's a loser, and he doesn't, like, he's just trying to tell an archetypal story. You can't do anything fucking interesting with this shit. God, I hate Chosen One narratives. I really fucking do. Like, there's ways to do it well, and it's by subverting the Chosen One narrative. Avatar: The Last Airbender. The Chosen One never wanted to be the Chosen One. He wanted to be a carefree guy. He has to grow into his role. He has to accept the role. That's his arc. You know, but while also holding on to his values as a person, holding on to his individuality and his culture. Like, that is the arc for that character. Like, Dark Souls. The Chosen One narrative is literally propaganda. It's literally propaganda to make people throw themselves into a fire. Like, that is how you do a Chosen One narrative, right? Like, this is not how you do it, Oda. This is not how you do it. You're fucking up. You're pulling some absolute bullshit right here. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be, like, worked up, but I'm just like, man, like, God, One Piece was so much better when it didn't have that element to it. Like, I'm not even saying it ruins everything. It just, like, is lame. It just is lame. It is uninteresting. It makes you, it's like a vehicle for bad and contrived writing. Or at very least, contrived writing. Like, now we have, like, other people who've done shit like this, like, just being completely forgotten from the story. Kuma and the Revolutionaries literally did shit like this, like, in the past few chapters. Like, in the past, like, 30 chapters, we've had, like, the Revolutionary Army attacking the, you know, like, Mary Joa. We've had, like, I don't know, like, come on, dude. Like, just get off Luffy's fucking cock. Get off this Nika shit. Like, I know it's part of the story. I'm generally okay with it, but it's like, when you just forget elements of the story, like, whether it's Oda forgetting or, like, Kuma forgetting, it's clearly Oda forgetting. Like, let's be honest. Like, it's contrived. It sucks. It just does. And it's a bad writing. Like, it's bad writing. You know, to ignore elements that you've introduced and to, like, pretend that, like, only the main character can do important things. If you're gonna want the main character to be the only one to do important things, which I think is not great, then actually make that the case. Because we know Fisher Tiger exists and did this more recently than Kuma's talking about. I mean, maybe he did it more than 20 years ago. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think Fisher Tiger's whole thing was more than 20 years ago. I could fact check it. I'm not going to. But come on, dude. No, not even 20 years. For hundreds and hundreds of years. This either Oda has selective memory loss or Kuma does. I'm pretty sure it's Oda. Because he's trying to make some connections. Like, Kuma's hero is Nika. Blah, blah, blah. Some bullshit. Fuck off. Dragon. Eva-chan. I hope you can forgive me. Stop, PX1. What? Another one? Zoro. I didn't mean to desert you without a word. Dragon Eva-chan. I hope you can forgive me. And then he smacks someone and then someone says, Zoro? I didn't mean to desert you without a word. At least I can leave my own quiet mark on the world through Bonnie and this young boy. That's a beautiful sentiment. So we're actually seeing things from Kuma's perspective this time. This is really beautiful. Pop. Pop. Luffy's yelling. Kizaru's like, the fuck, bro? Their future will be... And Sentomaru, who's obviously a bro of Kuma, as well as like, what the fuck's going on? And, you know, he's confused as well, Rayleigh. The only legacy... Their future will be the only legacy I leave behind. Wow, dude. Wow. So Luffy... So his friend's son and his daughter are his legacy. And the one... Like, the only good thing he was able to leave behind. And that is a beautiful thing. He literally allowed for his hero to be born into the world anew. He paved the way for his own personal, like, the savior there that he was waiting for, like the chosen one that he was waiting for, to exist and to live in this world. I couldn't save any of them. You've got it wrong. I'm just showing you the level you have to be in the new world, and you and your friends just aren't ready. Don't get there yet. Don't go there yet. After all, you will someday save the world. So he truly believed that Luffy was Nika. He truly believed that Luffy would save the world. And maybe that Bonnie will play a part in it as well, in saving the world. Or at very least, he wanted to make sure that Bonnie could live a good life. As good a life as possible. Install a self-destruct mechanism. Are you really that terrified of Kuma? Don't complain. Isn't his terrifying status as a human weapon your doing? But you 5 already have the highest priority in the command hierarchy. And if he were to go somehow... Oh, fuck. So they've added a self-destruct mechanism to Kuma, and he is on his way to Egghead, and St. J. Garcia Saturn is going to self-destruct this man after he uses his Paw fruit to send the Straw Hats and everyone to Elbaf. That's literally what's going to happen. Or to Raftel, maybe. That's literally what's going to happen. God, this is fucked up, dude. Kuma literally is like the best boy in the story, and it's so fucking sad to see what's happening to him right now. But you 5 already have the highest priority in the command hierarchy, and if you were to somehow go rogue when not in our presence, how would anyone else stop him? Do not answer. And if you were to somehow go rogue when not in our presence, how would anyone else stop him? Do not answer. I'm not interested in the opinions of a scientist for hire. Then in exchange for me doing that, let me keep just a touch of his ego intact. I've invented a circuit for the brain that allows one to switch between 2 states of consciousness, akin to a split personality. If you allow me to test it, I've given the order, Vegapunk. So he doesn't give Vegapunk the permission to do this. I suspect that Vegapunk is still going to do this. That's what I suspect. Erase his individuality completely. Make sure no trace of him remains. You won't be forgiven if you don't. And he's going to do it. He's going to defy St. J. Garcia Saturn. My man, Dr. Vegapunk, let's go. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Fuck these guys. Fuck J. Garcia Saturn and his stupid fucking face. And his stupid hair that looks fucking stupid. His fucking gross dreadlocks. Get this motherfucker the fuck out of here, man. Nah, fuck this guy. Fuck the whole world government. Let's down with that shit, man. Fuck, give Kuma... Let Kuma live, baby. Let Kuma live. Remember, I too am a man of science. Any attempts to deceive me will fail. So he's a man of science as well, huh? He's like overseeing the science projects of Vegapunk. Interesting. But if we do that, Kuma won't get to reunite with Bonnie at all. It's good to know how you feel, Vegapunk. What I didn't think you'd be able to overhear. What? I didn't think you'd be able to overhear. Weren't you the one who gave me superhuman hearing? So he gave him superhuman hearing. Interesting. All right then. Today is the day. We erase your sense of individuality. Kuma, it's only been 2 years, but it was fun. I suppose it was. It's looking like your first assignment will be a battle with the Whitebeard Pirates. I've been asked to prepare a battalion of your clones, soldiers, for that too. Once that's over and done with, there's something I'd like you to program me to do. Protect the ship of the Straw Hat Pirates, just until one of them returns. I'd like to be a stubborn guardian for their home. Wow. We knew that Vegapunk asked this. We knew that Kuma asked for Vegapunk to program a, protocol that made Kuma protect the ship until one of them returned. We knew this. This came up, I think, at the beginning of the time skip. And that's kind of when we realized Kuma had done all of this to protect the Straw Hats. He believed in them. We thought maybe he was doing a favor for Dragon. And it's still possible he was doing a favor for Dragon. Like, it seems less likely now. It seems like he mostly took this role upon himself. Dragon was less involved than I personally thought. Which is a little disappointing. Dragon has been like one of the more disappointing characters for me, in that he's been less involved in like the entire process of Luffy's success than I actually thought. In that, like, I thought Kuma was doing this on behalf of Dragon, and he sort of is, in that he made the choice to do it. But like like Dragon, I thought Dragon was involved in these decisions. He was not. He was completely sidelined. Kuma is just that awesome. So it raises Kuma in my head, but it lowers Dragon, which is, in my opinion, a net negative, because Dragon's already taking a beating. The dude sucks. The dude's done nothing. Sabo's done all the cool shit that Dragon hasn't been able to do since the time skip, since their reintroduction into the story, this past arc. Dragon sucks. He's not doing shit. He's like just a figurehead. He literally does nothing. The dude is the worst. Like, I hope he gets something for him. I hope he does something or proves that he's not a deadbeat loser. Like, come on, man. Like, you're getting upstaged by your subordinates, you fucking idiot. Like, God damn it, Oda, you botched the dragon card so hard. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, you made the guy look like such a fucking cuck. Jesus. Anarchy, let's fucking go. Yeah, buddy, yeah, let's do it. Dragon is like Shanks, does fucking nothing. I mean, Shanks does more than Dragon does. Like, say what you want about Shanks. Shanks will stop a war. Shanks will fucking show up to help Luffy, like, you know, to get away from an admiral. Like, Shanks will fucking kill a fucking top-level, you know, worst generation supernova to defend his people. Like, Dragon's done nothing to impress me at all. Nothing. The dude is like a glorified figurehead. He does nothing. He's done nothing of interest. He's done nothing of importance. I thought he asked Kuma to do this shit. I thought he asked Kuma to keep an eye on Luffy, and to like, you know, like I thought he was involved in these decisions, and maybe he'd be like, no, Kuma, you can't do it. Like, it would be too much to ask, and maybe Kuma did it out of his own accord. I thought Dragon would be involved in these decisions, and that maybe he had like a line of communication with Vegapunk. Dragon's got nothing. He's a fucking scrub. He's not doing shit. The dude sucks. Like, Oda, what do you do? Do you want me to not like this guy? What the fuck? Shows up to whip it out, then leave. Okay, but that's still way more than Dragon has ever done. Ever. The most important thing Dragon has ever done was in Logtown. That was the one time he was fucking cool, and that's it. The dude has gotten bodied by everyone he's gone up against. His subordinates have been more important and more interesting and more impactful than he has on all levels across the story. Like, the dude has been made to look like a fucking fool and a fucking ineffective idiot who doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Like, it's like, I don't know. I was interested in seeing what Dragon was up to. I thought this guy was gonna be cool. I now have no hope that this guy is gonna do anything interesting. He's being upstaged by his fucking subordinates across the board. This guy sucks. This guy sucks. I'm just saying, this guy sucks. Oda's botched Dragon. And don't get me wrong, I love Kuma. Sabo's even growing on me despite the fucking bullshit way he was reintroduced into the story, which I still think might be like the worst writing Oda's ever done. But like, Dragon is just nothing. He's got nothing going for him. He's got nothing. He's got nothing to get me invested or interested at all. There was one tidbit a couple chapters ago where he was like, I used to be in the Navy. So maybe he'll have some like personal beef, or like he maybe used to be friends with fucking Admiral Akainu. That's what I'm guessing Oda's gonna go for, but like, goddamn, he wasn't even involved in this Kuma shit or defending his own son. The man is a fucking loser as right now in the story. Oda, you can raise him or you can lower him. Right now, you don't have me confident that you're gonna do anything good with this guy. It's like how Vegapunk is like so trusting in the Marines to the point where it's like actual like social retardation. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, Vegapunk's still cool because he's like a noble dude. And he does cool shit sometimes, but like he is kind of an idiot a lot of the times and just like doesn't think things through a lot of the times. It's like, how are you a fucking genius, you fucking moron? You know, it's like Dragon's like that, but like way worse. But like way worse. He's like way bigger of like an incompetent loser who doesn't know what the fuck is happening. You know? Like it's actually embarrassing. Like Oda's botched Dragon so much worse than I ever would have dreamed. Like honestly, that's how I feel about Dragon right now. Like the guy, I'm not even looking forward to seeing him anymore. Cause like he's just a glorified like poster face for the Revolutionary Army, and that's it. That's all the guy's got. That's all he's got right now. Fuck him. It's looking like your first assignment. We read this. Since I won't be able to witness their continued growth. Yeah, so he's like wants to witness them because he's Nika or whatever. Blah blah blah. What kind of the future are you dreaming up for that boy? His actions have really moved me. I know Nika is meant to be a legend, but it'd be great if there really was a warrior out there putting smiles on faces, using the rhythm of liberation, the rhythm I taught Bonnie. And if there is a hero out there that will change these seas one day, I believe it'll be him. So he believed in Luffy before like anyone else, except for like Luffy's crew. He believed in the Nika shit. He was fully bought in. That's kind of neat. I mean, that's an interesting contextualization. I'm not the biggest fan of the Nika stuff, but this isn't the worst way to like characterize it. Because now that we've seen Kuma's backstory, it makes sense that he was a slave. It makes sense that he'd want to believe in the warrior of liberation. It makes sense that he'd be moved by some of Luffy's actions. It makes sense that he would help him of his own accord. I do, like, this is doing good things for Kuma's character. It's unfortunate that it undercuts Dragon's character a little bit. Or at least what I thought Dragon's character would be. You know, like, maybe that was just me projecting, but, like, I always thought the fact that Kuma had relations with Dragon, we knew that since Thriller Bark, that Kuma's actions toward the Straw Hats were on behalf of Dragon in a way where Dragon was a more active participant in affecting those actions. Instead, it's just Kuma being the best guy ever, because Kuma is the best guy ever, and, like, Dragon just sucks. Dragon just sucks! I'm sorry, I'll get off the Dragon shit. That's just how I feel right now. But whatever. A revolutionary placing their hopes on a pirate, eh? You're backing quite the dark horse, Pepepe. I forgot his laugh was Pepepe. That unorthodox thinking is proof of your humanity. Alright, before we begin, remember to push out those memories for my research. I promise. A promise is a promise, after all. Does this effectively erase your memories? No, think of it as a copy. It will disappear when it's touched, though. Interesting. It will disappear when it's touched, and it was touched by Bonnie. Wow. Don't fret. I've designed a system that will allow me to take peeks without touching it. Place it in there. Okay, it's just another procedure. I have to be clinical about this. I'm a scientist after all. So this is my life. I wonder how many people have been harmed or troubled by my actions. Damn. Oh, lost my light here. Sorry about that. Anyway. Let's see. Okay. Troubled. Living is nothing without trouble, wouldn't you say? Aw, and this is him, seeing him, like, his life flashing before his eyes. Wow. Wow. So that's him crying with his mother and father. His father was a good man. So was his mom was a nice lady. Kuma, huff, huff. This is him as a big baby boy. Kuma, and we got his friends. Kumachi, oh, huff, huff. And he was always running. Wow, dude, look at the little him, the medium him, the big him. Kuma, and then his friends who ended up joining Bonnie's crew, which is so interesting, like young Dragon. Kumachi, Daddy, oh. Young Bonnie and what's her name again? I should remember. I'm really Ginny. Huff huff, and now he's a big old boy. I can cure her. I'm so grateful. Thank goodness. Your life hasn't caused anyone harm or trouble, but your death will pain everyone who loves you. Damn, dude. Vegapunk in tears, about to like pull the lever and effectively end his friend's life. And like, man, that's really affecting right there. Listen well, Kuma. You are a hero too. Not only for Bonnie, but for everyone you've ever met. Thank you. There's just one last thing, Vegapunk. Yeah, I know. I can't say how grateful I am. And everyone is, wow, everyone's revering him. And Vegapunk is fucking weeping, man. Damn, dude. And even as he pulls the lever, he's fucking weeping and wailing and falls to his knees. Thank you for saving Bonnie's life. Queen. If you see her again, could you tell her something for me? Please wish her a happy 10th birthday. His daughter is the only thing in his heart. Damn, dude. I mean, what do you even say to that, man? What do you even say to that? Like, Kuma is one of the most, like in my opinion, he's been one of the most, like, linchpin and important characters in One Piece since his introduction. He's been, like, kind of, like, an interesting, like, character in that he's not, like, one of, like, the most, like, he's not, like, the biggest powerhouse. He's not the, necessarily, like, the most, like, emotive character. He's not necessarily the character that you like that you think of when you think of One Piece, but for me he's like such a unsung hero of the story, and he has been really since he saved everyone at Sabaody. It's like that like when they came back from Sabaody and they were like, dude, this guy saved us. Like, we are only here today because this man intervened and saved our fucking lives. And like now realizing that there was someone out there like looking for him, trying to like rescue him, trying to understand what happened to him and why it happened to him, like someone going on this journey to like truly like find and save him, and like while this whole time he was helping the main crew, it's like, and getting to see all these lives he touched and all like these different factions that we care about and how he's been a part of their story, and but had his own story and his own mission and his own beliefs and his own proclivities and his own he's just Kuma's a G, dude. He's one of my favorites. He's been one of my favorites for a while. He's been one of the characters I've been most excited to like get a backstory for and to learn more about, and we finally get his whole story, man. Like, and what more could you ask for? Like, this truly does paint him in such an interesting light. As Sauer said, like, he was a slave, he was a priest, he was he's lived so many lives. He was a slave, a priest, arguably like a husband, a revolutionary, a king, a pirate, a Shichibukai, a weapon, a father, like, and like I would argue like his most important thing is that he was like a father and like a hero and like a like warrior of liberation in his own right. Like, he truly believed in the people that he was trying to create a better life for, which were Luffy and his crew and Bonnie and like the revolutionaries. Like, he was out there trying to be like a silent supporter to these like bright shining heroes of the sun, like the sun god Nika, his daughter, the revolutionaries, people who are making a real difference in the world and like making a real positive impact. And like, yeah, he's just if there's any character like I admire, like, he might not be like the character I relate to the most, but he's definitely the character I admire the most. Because like he's willing to be this sort of unsung hero who is willing to put everything on the line, like put his entire being on the line, put his entire being in jeopardy, give up his life, his autonomy, his individuality, his personhood, everything he has, he's willing to put on the line for the people he believes in and the people he cares about. And like that's like truly a noble sacrifice in a way that I don't know. Like, I don't think we've quite seen to this degree in One Piece. Like, you can maybe argue like Whitebeard had a similar sacrifice, but it's just so different. Like, Kuma's sacrifice was like Whitebeard's sacrifice was very in the moment and very visceral. Kuma's sacrifice was long and prolonged and like calculated and continuous. Like, he continually chose to act in the ways that he did and to like pursue the actions that he did. And like, man, this is a really fucking good flashback. I don't know if it's my favorite flashback. Like, I really love the Kalgara and Mont Blanc Norlands flashback. I really love the Big Mom flashback. I think it's like really short and sweet. This is up there for me. This might be like a top, and like I really love Brooks' flashback, and there's a lot of other flashbacks I really like, but this is like a top. This is in the top. Now that I've gotten towards the end, that this ending really, like, especially this part where like everyone is like bowing down and like in reverence to him on Egghead, and like Vegapunk is crying as he's about to snuff out his friend's life. Like, that really almost made me cry, man. Like, I was starting to tear up and get a little misty-eyed at that. And like, it's really like impactful, man. And I've always liked Kuma. I always thought he was like an interesting and unique character in the world of One Piece, and I still feel that way, man. I still feel that way. I think I feel that way even more. I think this flashback did a good job of expressing who he is, and despite the fact that it may have taken away from characters that I wish had more of an impact on Luffy's journey, like say Dragon or I don't know, like you kind of have, like, in my head I had my own ideas of how this stuff was going on behind the scenes, and I am a little disappointed in the way Dragon's been characterized because of this flashback, but at the end of the day, like, it is what it is. This is Oda's story, and I think he decided to make Kuma the hero. Like, he decided to make Kuma the unsung hero, like, kind of like, if you've read Naruto, sort of like the Itachi of the story, and that, like, someone who's willing to sacrifice himself for the good of, like, for the greater good, for the what he believes to be the greater good. And, like, it's not quite the same because Itachi's like a character with like some sort of gray morality, but like this is just a truly heroic character who's just like I really love what he's got going on. I really love how much depth Oda gave him and how much time he spent on this flashback. Like he could have really phoned it in, and I think he gave it a lot of I don't know. I think he really did give it so much reverence, because I think he really cares about this character too, and he really loves this character that we have in Kuma. And I feel like I'm gonna stop tonight. This is where I'm gonna end my stream. But I feel like the next time we see Kuma in the present, he's gonna basically rescue everybody again, because that's who he is, and that's his final contribution. I feel like St. J. Garcia Saturn's gonna blow this man up with the control chip that's meant to be a self-destruct button. That's gonna be really fucking sad. It's gonna be really fucking sad. I think Bonnie's gonna kill that man and get revenge for her dad. And I don't know, man. It's rough. It's rough, but it's good shit. It's good shit. Overall, this was a super great flashback. And I think this is probably the end. I imagine we'll be getting back to the main story next chapter, but I'm glad Oda gave this the time and focus that I feel it deserved. And yeah, man, that's all I can say. That's really all I can say about this. Kuma is a great character, and I'm glad to have finally seen his story all the way through. So, or at least up until this point. Who knows if we'll get more. But anyway, guys, I think that's where I'm going to call it this time. Thank you for joining me on this adventure and through the high seas, the Grand Line of One Piece, as we get closer to the final act here, man. What a stretch of chapters this was, man. I'm really happy to kind of be at the tail end of this flashback. We might get a little bit more flashback next chapter, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting back into the main story soon. But goddamn, this is good stuff. This is heart-wrenching stuff, man. Even, like, sometimes I feel like when I'm on stream, it's hard for me to get, like, as emotionally invested as I would be if I were just, you know, doing my own thing, like reading it on my own. Just because I feel like, even though I don't try to be super performative, I feel like it's hard not to be when you're, you know, on stream and stuff. But no, this made me feel things, man. This made me feel big things. I almost fucking cried there at the end. I definitely was getting misty-eyed. This is a rough end to a really beautiful flashback, man. And Kuma's a really good boy, and I'm really excited to see what comes next. The story it's heating up. It's heating up. It's getting good, and we have some really heart-wrenching and good stuff ahead, and Oda's still kicking. He's still doing good shit. And I'm just amazed at how these different shonen writers can write stories like this. You know, I've been revisiting some Bleach, I've been revisiting some Naruto, and they've got some really heartfelt shit too. It's good shit. It's really good shit, man. We live in a charmed time to have stories like these, and I'm super excited, and like have them to be so accessible, and so like this ongoing thing, you know, definitely enriches my life, and I hope that it enriches yours as well. And I hope I can add a little something to it, at very least, in discussing it and talking about it, and, you know, having these conversations, and, you know, being able to you know, appreciate what Oda is doing here. So anyway, guys, this was really fun, and hopefully we'll get to do another stream next weekend. I might be a little busier then, but I'm going to try to do another stream pretty soon, another One Piece stream pretty soon, if not next weekend, then the weekend after. So thank you all. Thank you for stopping by, and for anyone who's watching this after the fact on YouTube. And I will see you all in the next one. So peace and safe travels, me hearties. Yo-ho.